Hello, hello. Hello and welcome everyone. Let's go ahead. कसा आहेस? चांगलं सगळं? Done? College exams? So you left the exam today? Am I so handsome? No? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hello. Am I audible? You're able to hear me, right? Okay. Let's go ahead. We are done with chapter number 1, that is basic concepts. We are done with the definition of person. Every person is required to pay income tax. When we say every person, what do we mean? Individual, HUF, company, firm, including LLP, AOP, BOI, local authority, artificial juridical person. Income will be earned in the and tax will be calculated and paid in the. For your exam, the applicable previous year is 24-25 and the applicable assessment year is. So we have to go and learn Finance Act of 2024. Now we come to the second chapter where we wanted answers to two questions. Indian going abroad, nahi. Now we will rectify that. Resident earning foreign income. And second, non-resident earning Indian income. Because resident Indian income is taxable and non-resident foreign income is not taxable. But resident earning foreign income, is it taxable? Are foreign income? Yes. Is it taxable? Why? Are why? Principle of resident and non-resident earning Indian income. Acha, you're not saying also taxable or not taxable, because if you say taxable, then I'll again scream. Are non-resident still taxable? Why? Principle of source. Globally, there are two principles of levy of tax, that is principle of residence and principle of source. And therefore, resident foreign income will be taxable, non-resident Indian income will be also taxable. But we need to obviously learn, kya sir, what sir, what is resident, what is non-resident, and then second, what is Indian income, what is foreign income. Who is resident, who is non-resident is given in the first part of the chapter, that is residential status. This part of the chapter will teach us who is resident, who is non-resident. And second part of the chapter is scope of total income. That second part of the chapter will teach us what is Indian income, what is foreign income. Because towards the end of the last lecture, I also told you that when I ask you what is Indian income, don't react by saying so. The income earning process has two activities: work and get paid. Working for the income and getting the money. If both activities are in India, obviously it is Indian income. Both activities outside India, obviously it is foreign income. But there are two in between activities. Kya sir? Work done in India and payment done in foreign country, and vice versa. Work done outside India, payment made in India. Why every day? क्यों? वाई 11 बजे नहीं? तो एक सेकंड. हाँ, सॉरी, वेयर वाज आई? Indian income and foreign income. Both activities in India to Indian. Both activities outside India to. But when one of the two activities is in India and the other is outside India, how do you classify? Indian or foreign? See, understand. If the classification, first impact, understand now please. If the classification ka answer is Indian income, then everyone has to pay tax, resident or non-resident. If you now understand what is the chapter. But if your answer is foreign income, still resident has to pay tax. That means if the income becomes Indian income, we will make non-resident also liable to pay tax. So we have to learn that in the second part of the chapter, Indian income or foreign income. First part of the chapter is resident or non-resident, residential status. And second part of the chapter is Indian income or foreign income, that is, yes, scope of total income. Residential status in income tax law, section 6, section number I think I have already given you, is given person by person. We know there are 7 persons liable to pay tax. First is, so individual ka residential status ka rule is separate. Next is HUF का rule is separate. So the rules for residential status are given person by person, and we have to also learn then person by person. We are going to first go and learn residential status of individual. This is the biggest of all, and believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it will not get over today. Only individual ka residential status. But tomorrow, if we get done with this, we will also get done with all the other 6. The remaining together are not as big as individual. They are very small. Maximum time will be consumed in learning residential status of individual. And today's almost entire lecture will be dedicated only and only for learning residential status of individual. Everyone is with me? Yes. Individual in income tax law is divided into 2 categories, like every assessee, resident and non-resident. We use NR as short form for non-resident throughout the syllabus. For convenience purposes in the exam, preferably you should write the full form, obviously. Resident and non-resident. Why are we doing this division? If you are a resident, then you will pay tax on Indian income or foreign income, both. But if you are a non-resident, then you will pay tax only on. So if my answer is this, I am not interested in nature of income. But if my answer is this, I will check whether the income is Indian income, then only tax is payable. Now you understand the statement depends on residential status and scope of total income. But once an individual is declared as resident, there is further classification into resident and ordinarily resident. क्या बोला? Resident and ordinarily resident, ROR, and resident but not ordinarily resident, and very famously known as RNOR. These short forms ROR, RNOR are absolutely acceptable. In fact, you see a lot of answers. If you ever call for answer papers, so you'll see students have written ROR, RNOR, NR, and they have been awarded marks. See, in the exam, your planning has to be perfect. If you are having shortage of time, so then you have to smartly plan your answer writing process. If I know I have less time, see, normally I have been given a particular income. I have to decide whether this income is taxable for ROR, RNOR, or NR. If it is Indian income, so it will be taxable for everyone. Supposingly it is foreign income, so it will be taxable for resident but not taxable for non-resident. Correct? So when I am writing this answer, if I have time, I will write resident and ordinarily resident. If I don't have time, I will write ROR. If I don't have time, I will write RNOR. If I don't have time, I will write NR. And in fact, if I don't have time, I will not waste time in this also. I am going to make a very, very silly statement in front of you. Please do not misinterpret this. But believe me, dear students, I am a qualified chartered accountant. In my entire CA course, I never used a ruler and a pencil for drawing lines, even in accounts. If I had to make a question on single entry, you all have studied. Branch accounting, you all have studied. If I had to make the account, my accounts used to be like this. Yes, I know this is not a straight line, but with a ruler, you are still going to make a line which is not exactly straight. You realize in how much time I did this? And now compare this with 2-finger space, amount column. You understand how much time you're wasting in that? Believe me, I have never made lines with pencil even in accounts. Because if the content that I have written here is correct, no, most paper checkers are checking only the content, not whether the lines are straight. No. In fact, with this speed, if I am able to solve 2 questions more than others, some papers are very lengthy, you are not able to complete them in the allotted time. But if I adopt this style and I am able to complete my paper faster than others, I am able to attempt maybe 2-3 more questions than others, I am going to get more marks than others. So end of the day, that planning is very, very important. So to write short form or full resident and ordinary resident, etc., I leave the choice to you. Both of them are right only. But if you have time in exam, write the full thing. If you don't have time, which is always going to be the case, if your practice is not proper, then you will write the short form also, absolutely no problem. So residents are further divided into ROR and RNOR. So we have to, under individual ka residential status, learn 2 steps. In step number 1, we will be taught how to decide whether an individual is resident or non-resident. Step number 1 will only teach us this. What, sir? That individual is resident or the individual is non-resident. And in step number 2, we will be taught whether the individual is resident and ordinarily resident or resident but not ordinarily resident. That is going to be our step number 2. Resident and ordinarily resident and resident but not ordinarily resident. You understood this? Everyone? Sir, of course, you must be having one question. Okay, sir, you taught us at the beginning of the chapter, resident will pay tax on global income, world income, Indian as well as foreign, and non-resident will pay tax on Indian income. So, we have understood the tax treatment of this part. Sir, what is this? Because this is increasing our confusion. When I will do scope of total income, I will do this in writing right now only so that you are not too anxious. I want to solve this problem for you. The foreign income that you earn is of 2 types. Foreign income is of 2 types. See, Indian income, everyone has to pay tax, including non-resident. We are focusing on foreign income. Tell me one thing. Is this resident liable to pay tax on foreign income? Yes, but foreign income will be classified into 2 types. One, those foreign incomes which have some control from India. For example, Reliance Industries Limited, Indian company, is sending you as branch manager in its Germany office. So you will go and work in Germany. You are working there. You are getting paid also there. Is that foreign income? But the management decisions are being taken from India. That means there is some Indian control. That is called foreign income controlled from India. This both of them will pay tax. But there is some foreign local domestic source income also. The salary that you are getting in Germany. You will not keep that salary very long in the form of money. You will make investments. You will buy local company shares, local debentures, local bank accounts. Maybe you give local loans to people. Will there be some local income in Germany which has got nothing to do with India? That will be taxable only for ROR, not for RNOR. So for ROR, RNOR, we will classify foreign income into 2 categories. Controlled from India and locally earned. Controlled from India and locally earned. If it is controlled from India, then both have to pay tax. And if it is locally earned, then only ROR will pay tax. But all this I will be explaining to you in writing like I do everything else later in the chapter when I do scope of total income. That is only to control your anxiety, sir. If resident has to pay tax on world income, then why this division into ROR or NOR? Because certain foreign incomes will be taxable only for ROR and they will not be taxable for RNOR. That we will discuss later in the chapter. So for now, we have to learn 2 steps in residential status of individual. Step number 1 is going to teach us, sir, what? Resident or non-resident. And step number 2 will teach us whether it is ROR or RNOR. You have little common sense, then understand that step number 2 will be performed only if the answer of step number 1 is. If the answer of step number 1 is non-resident, there is no step 2 because there is nothing called ordinary non-resident and not ordinary non-resident. Non-resident is non-resident. Non-resident is non-resident. There is no further division into ordinary or not ordinary. So step 2 will be done only if step 1 ka answer is resident. So step number 1, resident or non-resident. If answer is non-resident, answer is over. If answer is resident, then perform step number 2, ROR or RNOR. So obviously now we will have to go and learn them one by one, step by step. Step number 1 is going to teach us whether we are learning for individual. See, it will take lots and lots of time. Today's lecture will get over. Supposingly after all that, tomorrow if I do 2, so you will be having stars in broad daylight. Sir, what to is this? Sir, what to? Sir, individual over. Now let's go and learn HUF ka residential status. But that's very small. Then we can go and learn, partnership, firm or company or all of them very quickly. They are all very small. Maximum time will be conducted or taken only in individual. Step number 1, resident or non-resident. Here they have given us 3 conditions. Condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. So I will be teaching you 3 conditions. If you satisfy any one of them also, if you satisfy what? Any one of them, then income tax law will declare you as resident. That means, understand what I am going to do between condition 1, condition 2 and condition 3. I will write the word or, the English or. In Hindi, or means and. So don't confuse us unnecessarily. In English, or means anyone. That means if I satisfy condition 1 but not 2 and 3, I am resident. If I satisfy only 2, I am resident. If I satisfy only 3, I am still a resident. If I satisfy any one condition, now you understand the relevance of the word or. If they are cumulative conditions, then we will write and. But they are not cumulative conditions. You have to satisfy any one condition and you will be declared as resident. You understand? Anyone? Okay. I will ask you a question which will require some logic, some common sense. And these are those occasions where you will get to show your own talent. Okay? So show me if you have some talent. If choice is yours, then what will you like to become? Resident or non-resident? Believe me, choice is not yours. Obviously, it will depend on the condition. If I fall in any one of them, then I am going to be declared as resident. And also, do you understand therefore who will be a non-resident? A non-resident is someone who is going to dissatisfy all the conditions. Because if anyone is also satisfied, so you will become resident. So then to become a non-resident, you will have to dissatisfy condition 1 or 2 or 3, all of them. Ye clear hai? What is your preference? I want to know. I want to know how much your brain is working. What will you like to become? Resident or non-resident? What will you like to become? Resident or non-resident? Resident. Why, sir? Bharat humko jaan se pyara hai. Therefore, patriotism. No? Or what else? Ye jo desh hai. Any other patriotic song? Vande Mataram. Is that the reason? Otherwise, give me any logical reason why you prefer resident. Only because there is some patriotism in you? Then why resident? Hey Bhagavan. See, you are not understanding the question only then. My question is, what will you like to become if you have the choice? You have never gone abroad, that I am not asking when or where. Become a CA fast, you'll get so many opportunities.
Non-resident रहेगा उसको 2 जगह टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा. यहाँ पे अगर वो कुछ काम कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ पे भी टैक्स और उसकी होम कंट्री जाएगा वहाँ पे भी टैक्स.
Okay, I'll talk to that. Talk about it only from India's taxation point of view. हो सकता है ना that home country does not levy any tax on. So only talk about it from Indian income tax law. What will you like to become? Why? Abhi sir, resident is wrong. So NR. Two options. Why? India mein you might have to pay tax if your income is Indian income, but at least you don't have to pay tax on your. Please understand. Those who said resident, please understand. If I become resident, then I have to pay tax on Indian income or foreign income. Both. Global income. That means becoming resident is dangerous from tax perspective. At least if I am non-resident, at least I don't have to pay tax on at least the foreign income. Indian income will be taxable in any case. But at least I don't have to pay tax on. So given a choice, it is always better to become non-resident. You understood, everyone? See, at the beginning of the chapter, I told you, resident will pay tax on both. Non-resident will pay tax on and not pay tax on. So obviously, it is better to become non-resident and save tax on your foreign income. You understood? Given a choice, I will like to be here. But of course, if I fulfill any of these conditions, then I don't have the choice. Then I have become a resident. And what is the impact of becoming resident? All throughout, all in all, you have to be clear about this. What is the impact of becoming a resident? What happens when you become a resident? You have to pay tax on your global income, world income. Is that clear, everyone? Okay. Very good issue brought up by hello. Okay. So coming back to the point. The point is very simple. If I am a resident, I have to pay tax on global income. Correct? So at least if I am non-resident, I have to pay tax only on Indian income. So if I have the choice, I will become non-resident and pay tax only on Indian income. But as I said, I don't have the choice. I will go and check the conditions. If I fall in any of the conditions, so I will become resident. And then I have to pay tax. What is the impact of becoming resident? Then I have to pay tax on global income, world income. Income earned anywhere in the world is going to be taxable for me if I become a resident. Is that clear? Oh, patriotic people, is that you understood? Absolutely clear. Chalo, fantastic. So now we will go and learn the three conditions of becoming resident one by one. But before I go to that, an excellent issue brought up by one of the students now, and it was also asked by another student in the class after yesterday's lecture. I just gave a rough idea to the student because I said this is a very important topic. I will like to discuss it with the whole class. The question was, sir, is a non-resident paying tax on income that the non-resident is earning in India at least on the basis of principle of source? But then there will be some country also which is his home country where he is resident. Here he is non-resident, matlab somewhere he will be resident. No? That means that income will be taxable in the home country also. Principle of residence, and that income is being taxed in India on the principle of source. Alternatively, take another example. Indian resident earning foreign income. Will India levy tax? Yes. Why? Principle of residence, home country, and will that country levy tax? Principle of source, host country. So what is happening? On the same income, you are required to pay tax in both countries. Is that genuine hardship? Think about it. Bro, we are Indians. We don't like to pay tax once also. I belong to a community from Rajasthan. We are the Marwadis. We don't believe in paying tax once also. So there is no question of paying tax twice. And if they start levying tax like that, so people will stop going to other countries for earning income. They will say, better I stay in my country and pay less tax, save that much money. Why take the trouble of going in a foreign country only to pay more taxes? It will serve as a problem in free flow of trade, industry, goods and services from one country to the other. We want the world to become one open market, and people will avoid selling their goods and services in the other countries only because of unnecessary tax. So what happens is, both governments sit together with each other. It is Indian government sitting with government of that country, and they will sign an agreement with each other. That agreement, international language may we also call it treaty. We also call it convention. And the name of the agreement is Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement, DTAA, Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement. As the name indicates, under the agreement, both countries will promise each other that sometimes I will leave the tax, sometimes you leave the tax. An example can be home country will get the tax. That means if Indian is going, resident is going in a foreign country, that country will leave the tax because home country will take. And that country's resident coming here, then we will leave the tax. It always works two ways. So with this, what will happen? Both government will forego some tax and assessee will have to pay tax only in one of the countries. Ladies and gentlemen, first chapter of CA Final Direct Tax, Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement. First chapter. So non-resident has to pay tax in his home country, but he will get relief from double taxation if there is an agreement between the two countries. There are about 200 countries in the world. Round figure I am telling you, it is 196 or 197, 200 countries in the world, out of which India already has agreements with 120 countries roughly. So we will give you relief as per the agreement, reduction of your tax liability, and those 80 countries with which we don't have agreement, for that also there is some calculation given in Income Tax Act on the basis of which we can give you relief in those cases also. So as an assessee, we will never make you suffer the loss. We will give you some protection in income tax law. All that will be taught to you in the first chapter of CA Final Direct Tax about 2.5 years after today. Provided you clear your CA intermediate in the first attempt is the best attempt. In double taxation avoidance agreement, I do as the first chapter. By the way, it is a part of that 30 marks international tax. The moment you have foreign countries, non-residents involved, it is a part of international tax. And out of that 30 marks, one of the most important and the most scoring, the questions of double taxation avoidance agreement, to solve them and get correct answers, they are so easy that you can easily score full marks in that 6 to 8 marks ka question. Direct tax being one of the difficult subjects at CA Final, very difficult to score marks, but there are some chapters which you can target where you will get full marks in those questions. And DTAA happens to be one of those chapters. So we will talk more about it after 2.5 years. For now, is that clear about the issue about having double tax? Now let's focus only from Indian perspective. In India, resident has to pay tax on global income, but non-resident has to pay tax only on Indian income, and therefore I will preferably become a non-resident so that I have to pay tax only on Indian income. However, I have been given 3 conditions, condition 1, 2 and 3, and if I fall in any one of them, so now that I am going to start the conditions between 1 and 2 and 3, I am going to write the word or, because if I fall in any one of them, I will become a resident and then I will have to pay tax on global income. That means in order to pay tax only on Indian income and not on foreign income, I will have to become non-resident. That means I will have to dissatisfy all the 3 conditions. Ye clear hai? So ladies and gentlemen, first condition. If you were physically present in India, for a period of 182 days or more, greater than or equal to. So 182 or more, equal to will also be covered. Be very, very careful. ICAI does not target whether you have knowledge. ICAI will not ask you a question on 172 or 192. They will ask you a question where it is exact 182. Exact 182. Exact 182. Is exact 182 covered? Be very careful. They will always target your knowledge of equal to. For example, somewhere in the law they have said senior citizens get tax benefit. What is senior citizen? Anybody who is 60 years and above. So they will not ask you 55 or 65. They will ask you exact 60. And you will scratch your brain, sir. Exact 60 covered or more than 60? You don't pay attention to certain things. An institute knows what students do. They target those areas. They will never ask you direct question. So be careful about these small details of the law to avoid any mistake. So 182 or more will equal to also be covered. If you were in India, physically present in India for a period of 182 days or more during the previous year. And this is why it is very important that you clearly know in your mind, in your brain, sir, which is the applicable previous year for my exam. That means when I have to check this stay, I am going to check the period 1st April 24 to 31st March. For your exam, May 25, September 25 or Jan 26, it has to be this. Supposingly anybody who is giving exam in Jan 25, that person will check 1/4/23 to 31st March 24. Anybody giving May 26 will check 25/26. We have to check our relevant previous year. In this period, your stay should be minimum 182. See, sir, last year full year you were in India and next year full year you were in India is irrelevant for deciding your residential status of the current year. This year you are going to be resident or non-resident will depend on your stay in India in this particular year. This year, if you are for 182 days, then last year and next year, both of them are absolutely irrelevant. Last year and next year are Absolutely irrelevant. Did you understand this? Everyone? Fantastic. So you are going to check stay in India for a period of 182 or more during the applicable previous year 24-25. That has to be 182 or more. Roughly 6 months. Roughly 6 months. You don't have to see months, you have to see days only. But for idea purposes, roughly half of the year. So what is the income tax law trying to say? Understand the logic. I can only teach you the next condition directly. Understand the logic. The logic is that if 6 months, half of the year you are in India, so you have to pay tax on anything earned outside India also during the remaining 6 months. 6 months so you were in India, you are earning here only. The remaining part of the year you were outside India. At that time, whatever you are earning outside India, that will also be taxable if 6 months you were here. Because you have become a resident. Supposingly Indian cricket team. If 6 months it is in India, then rest of the year it is going and playing these tournaments outside India. We will consider them as resident. They will have to pay tax on their global income. If 182 days you are in India, you are going to be considered as resident. But regarding this 182, lot of questions are coming in my mind. Don't know about you, but my mind is creating so many questions. Sir, what if this happens? Sir, what if that happens? I am now going to give you some explanatory notes of this 182. Matlab, condition 1 is over. Condition 1 is only one line. Condition 1 is if you were physically present in India for a period of 182 days or more during the previous year. Once again, if you were physically present in India for a period of 182 days or more during the previous year, then you are a resident. So whatever I am now doing as notes 1, 2, 3, 4 or ABCD here is only explanation of this 182. Condition is over. I am explaining this with the help of these 8, 9 points. And anything that you are trying to ask will be covered in this 9 points. Let us get done. Then I will take whatever is your doubt. But right now, what have we been taught? 182 days or more during the previous year, then we will declare you as, and therefore you will have to pay tax on your global income, world income. Is that clear? Chalo, let us see what is explanation of this 182. I want to keep every detail of my explanation in the written notes, and therefore let me begin by saying, did you observe carefully? Equal to 182 is also covered. I already told you orally, but one more time in my notes I want to specify that if my stay in India during this period is exact 182, exact 182, make as many faces that you want to, give me all the expressions and looks that you want to. This is my style. ये style है, and people are fond of me because of this. I am going to do it. Exact 182 is also covered. Is that clear? That means I don't have to be in India for greater than 182. Equal to is also covered. ये clear है? Second, before you ask me, see, I want an atmosphere where before you ask me the doubt, I have answered. And I want an atmosphere where before I ask you a question, you are ready with the answer. We don't have to ask questions to each other. I answer your questions before you ask, you answer my questions before I ask. Let us create that atmosphere. Second condition. Even if the year is a leap year, which happens once in 4 years. Yes. So elections happen once in 5 years. Leap year happens once in 4 years. Bloody hell, this 2024 now. Leap year and election. Both of them happen together once in 20 years. Election and leap year coming together is once in 20 years. Last time it was in 2004 when some of you all were just, entering the world. Some were like, somewhere in that stage of life. That was the last time where election took place in a leap year. Now 2024. So please understand, in a leap year, the February year will have 29 days. The year will have 366 days. The condition is still 182, not 183. Condition is 182 or more, whether the year is of 365 or 366 days. It does not affect you people. Because your February is not the 24 February. Your February is going to be the 25 February, which is 28 days. But last year ka students who are yet to give the January exam, they have to be extra careful. Their February contains 29 days. Their financial year contains 23. 24 is their financial year. Their financial year contains 366 days. The condition is still 182. The condition is still 182. Understood? So exact 182 also covered. Even in leap year, it will be 182. Next, did you observe or did you think about it that therefore residential status can change every year? Did you think about it? Residential status can change. Why, sir? Because it is possible. 1 year I was in India full year. Another year I was not in India at all. So the year in which I was for full year, with 182 also I am resident only. And the year in which my stay was 0, I have become a non-resident. Subject to condition 2 and condition 3, but as of now, condition 1 is not satisfied. So do you realize the number of days I stay in India can change on a year-on-year basis? And therefore my residential status can also change on a year-on-year basis. That particular year, if I am a resident, then world income. But next year, if I am a non-resident, then only Indian income. Is that understood? So equal to is also covered. In leap year also it will be 182 only. Residential status can change every year. What is the criteria to make you resident? You being physically present in India. If you are in India, that means we will make you resident. Did you notice, did you observe that therefore your citizenship, your nationality, did you observe, did you think about it, that it is irrelevant? Irrelevant. I'll give you again example from cricket. Then I'll go to Bollywood also. For example, world's finest fielder in cricket, in history of world cricket, there is this gentleman from South Africa called Jonty Rhodes. The best fielder in the history of cricket ever. Jonty Rhodes is so fascinated by India that actually he has named his daughter India. Are you aware of that? His daughter's name is India. Supposingly he stays in India full year. Is he South African by birth, by citizenship, by nationality? But in Indian income tax law, we will consider you as resident. Your citizenship, your nationality, which country's passport you have is irrelevant. Residential status does not depend on citizenship. Residential status depends on something called physical presence. Residential status depends on what, ladies and gentlemen? Physical. If you are physically present in India, so it is going to be considered as resident. Physically present in India, so it is going to be considered as resident. Did you understand this? Citizenship, nationality is irrelevant. For example, I think they are divorced now, but Hardik Pandya, the Indian cricketer, got married to this lady called. Yes, sir, barabar you remember. Without even, sir, further details, name of their child, etc. Everything I'll ask, everything you know. Natasha. Natasha is from which country? Saudi. Serbia. Serbia. Not India, no. But if she has married and settled here and spent 182 days in the financial year, Indian income tax law will consider resident. Some singers from Pakistan, specifically some artists from Pakistan. There is this I just love his voice. Atif Aslam. Every time I think about any Atif Aslam songs, I go back to my college days, because my college days, Tere bin. You heard that song? Lekar yaade teri. No, bro, then it is very difficult for me to come back from that zone, because we all miss our college days for various reasons. हाँ, तो आतिफ असलम पाकिस्तानी क्रिकेटर नहीं, सिंगर, sorry, my bad, Pakistani singer. But if he spends 182 days in India, he will be considered as citizenship. Nationality is absolutely irrelevant. Have you understood this? Next, everything about 182. See, condition got over that the first line itself. Whatever I am writing here is explanation of 182. Lots and lots still coming up. All queries in your mind will be sorted, believe me. Okay. Together I have about 8-9 points. We are still done only with 4 points. Next, the purpose why you are in India is you are here as a tourist, you are here as a student, you are here on a picnic, you are here to meet your relatives who are unwell, you are here to develop some business, you are here for doing some job. Why you have come to India is irrelevant. If you are in India, it is going to be included in your 182 days ka calculation to make you a resident. Why you have come to India? Irrelevant. Citizenship or nationality? Irrelevant. That means there is only one factor which matters. And what is that only factor? Physical presence in India for a period of 182 days or more. Next, the period of 182 days need not be continuous. Did you think about it? 1st April previous year has started. The assessee is in India for 60 days. Then leaves India. After 1 month comes again for 60 days. Then again goes back. Then after 1 month again comes for 62. So 60 plus 60 plus 62, if the total is 182, in small bits and parts also, it is going to be considered as resident. We don't need continuous 182 days. It can be total 182 days at any time during the year, and it is going to be counted, considered. You are here for say 3 months, April, May, June. Then you are not here for 6 months. And then you come back, maybe somewhere in the last week of December, Jan, Feb, March. If that total is becoming 182, so you are going to be considered as resident. The period need not be continuous. Next, are you in India? Are you in India? In India where, sir? In India where? The place in India. You have to be in India obviously, but within India where are you? Sir, you are in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata. You are in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. You stay in a home, temple, church, mosque, gurudwara, or a footpath without fear of film stars. Irrelevant. Irrelevant. You eat food, you do not eat food, you are fasting. Irrelevant. Bro, you are earning income or you are not earning income is also irrelevant for deciding residential status. Obviously, if you are not earning income, there is no NTTI. But see, for deciding residential status, that is also not relevant. Residential status will depend on physical presence. Within India, which place is relevant? But you have to be in India for a period of 182 days. More than 9. More than 9. From day one, if you learn wrong concepts in your subconscious mind, that will be saved. Then no matter what, you'll end up making a mistake. It is not more than. It is 182 or more. Exact 182 also covered. Always say the correct things, store the correct things, automatically you will write the correct things. Understood? So nationality irrelevant. Within India, which place, that is also irrelevant. It need not be continuous. That is also clear. Everything is clear to you. Now comes the next question. The last 2 points. They are slightly big, but point H. And by the end of point 9, if your doubt is not sorted, then I will take it. Point 8. Sir, since you have written the condition, you have made it clear that there is only one thing that is relevant. What is that only thing that is relevant? Physical presence. But that presence has to be where? You have to be in India. In India. So the question is, sir, what is India? The question is, what is India? Because you have to be there. So what is India? You understand the question? Again, I know your reaction is, sir. No. Sir, India is India, no. You go to so many places. You go to Singapore. Singapore, there is an area called Little India. All Indians stay there. You have restaurants like Kailash Parbat, etc., serving Indian vegetables, Indian sabjis over there, better than some of the local restaurants. You have South Indian restaurants with their boards, pure veg food, pure veg food. Believe me, most Malayalis, they do what? They get their education, then they go to a foreign country, make massive money. Finally, in any of these Asian countries, Singapore or Thailand or Malaysia or UAE, you see lot of Malayalis. They have opened South Indian restaurants, and they are running really, really well. There in Kerala, the culture is that you should not be greedy for money. If anybody desires to earn money, you are treated as a bad human being. At least not from this land. Make money from foreign country and bring that money and settle in Kerala. You wanting to earn money from this land means you want the money of your local brothers and sisters. Earn money from foreign country and come and make investments here. Most of the big investments are made by Malayalis from abroad. Kochi, specifically, there is this mall called Lulu Mall. That is, believe me, I think Asia's largest mall. Within the mall, you will need vehicles. Never ending. I'm right. Correct. Kochi's largest mall is, you probably Mumbai students have not even heard the name. Asia's largest, India's largest, nahi. All you know is Phoenix Market City. That also, Kurla. Be careful of your wallets. Kurla. You don't know Kurla? Yes. So what is India? There is Little India in Singapore. In fact, lot of countries you will find one area where Indians live. Almost every country. Huh? Canada, we call it Punjab. So you can't be saying, sir, I was in Canada in that Punjabis wala area, or I was in Singapore in Little India. Will that be counted in your 182 days? No, sir. No. So what is India? A question. And can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? Income tax law has given definition of India. They have defined India, that India will be the following things. Means you have to be here for 182 days. Your citizenship is irrelevant. It need not be continuous. Purpose is irrelevant. Within this, which place, that is irrelevant. But this is India. They have defined India and understand I have to spend 182 days here in this place called India. What is India as per income tax law? Surprised? Oh, graduates. You have said that, sir, we have studied tax before. I think by now you are convinced that you don't know anything. You studied this? Definition of India? Haan, bol. Rubbish. Don't bluff. Sir, nahi pata is the correct answer. That is customs ka definition. No, so customs ka definition. Acha, let me tell you this also. The definition of India in Customs Act and the definition of India in Income Tax Act is different. We are learning India from the definition of income tax law. India includes the following. 1. The land mass of India is India. For example, this is India. Gujarat. See, I can explain Jammu Kashmir, Northeast, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and South ka states. Karnataka here, little Goa also, Kerala here, Tamil Nadu here, and Andhra. But that's the maximum. Sir, where is Jharkhand? Don't ask me. Where is Bihar? Don't ask me. Sir, I can't find West Bengal. Bro, it is somewhere here. You have to be within this land mass. Now, within this landmass, whether I am here, I spend 1 day here, 10 days here, 20 here, all of them will be totaled for calculation of 182 days. And but I have to check that for 24, 25. Supposingly, year March 2024, full month I was in India, say here in Kashmir, and from April I am staying in Gujarat. So that March ka period I don't have to include because that is the last year. My calculation will start from 1st of April. From 1st April, if I was in Gujarat, it is still India, I will start counting my days. Understood? So, first point in definition of India is landmass. The whole landmass is going to be included. You understood? Second, the territorial waters of India. The what? Territorial waters of India, we call it the TWI. This is spread up to 12 nautical miles from the landmass. Territorial waters of India are spread over 12 nautical miles. Sir, what is nautical mile? Just for your general knowledge. Just like distance on land is measured in kilometers, distance in water is measured in nautical miles. So, for example, India from some parts, at some parts is surrounded by landmass. But from other parts, for example, here we are here, Maharashtra, Gujarat, in fact, Kerala is also here on the western coast of India. Tamil Nadu is on this side. So, do you understand? Here we have the Arabian Sea. Here we have the Bay of Bengal. Here we have a small Sri Lanka, but otherwise there are water bodies here also. So this distance up to 12 nautical miles, up to how much? 12 nautical miles, the unit of measurement of distance in water is going to be considered as India. Means if you are here, it is India, and if you are here, it is still considered that you are in India. 12 nautical miles is considered as India only. Whoever told you that there is no border in water is wrong information. There is border in water as well. Up to 12 nautical miles will be considered as India. Means supposingly our fishermen, 12 nautical miles they can peacefully go. It is considered as India. When they cross 12 nautical miles, they should ensure that they don't enter the waters of any other country. Otherwise, that country's Navy or Coast Guard has the right to search, seize, arrest, fire if you are hostile. First, they will make announcement that you have entered our water, kindly go back, we are not permitting you. But if you don't leave, they will attack you. Up to 12 nautical miles, it is going to be considered as India. Means you can be in the landmass or you can be in the water bodies up to a distance of 12 nautical miles. 12 nautical miles ka definition is what? Territorial waters of India, means they are India ka water. So you spend 170 days here and 15 days in Indian waters. The total will be considered as 185 and you will become a resident. You understood? So landmass, water bodies up to 12 nautical miles. Next, the seabed and subsoil of the territorial waters of India. The seabed and the subsoil of the territorial waters of India. Let me explain now what is this. Is this our landmass? Supposingly you are on India's land, standing on the land, you jump, you're still on India's land. So landmass mein that period will be included. On water, don't do that. Don't jump. Water has depth. You'll go deep into the water, deep down is the seabed. Now, distance wise, you are within 12 nautical miles, but you can be at the top, at the surface, or submerged into the water bodies in the form of a submarine or anything else. As long as you are, see, distance wise within 12 nautical miles, at the top or submerged or right at the bottom at the seabed, it is still going to be considered. See, in land there is no depth. So land is land, but water there is surface and there is depth. So within the distance of 12 nautical miles, you can be at the top or at the bottom. It is going to be considered as stay in India. That is the seabed and the subsoil of the territorial waters of India, provided that seabed is within the distance of 12 nautical miles. On submarine wars, an excellent Bollywood movie made. There was this movie called The Ghazi Attack. I don't know whether your generation, your Indian audience, actually, believe me, is the worst audience in the world. You all don't appreciate good cinema. You all are not going to watch a movie like Tumbad or Masan or Ghazi Attack. So all you deserve is Prem Ratan Dhan Payo. Happy New Year. Because these are the movies that Indian audience prefers to watch. So that is what Bollywood will make. See, they don't make good movies. They make movies which people will like. People don't like good movies, so they don't make good movies. They make masala movies. Illogical, insensible movies. I was so desperately looking forward to Singham. What a total waste, bro. What a total waste. Rather, Kal Ho Na Ho, which I saw 21 years ago, still looks like a fresh story. That movie was so ahead of its time. So ahead of its time. But this is the era of absolute bankruptcy in Bollywood. Not in terms of money, but in terms of brains. This is the era of bankruptcy, I'm telling you. And that is why the South Indian movie industry is ruling, and going forward, it is going to rule. In fact, the biggest of Bollywood producers, they are very smart. Starting में they will not give you chance. But once your franchise has become popular, like Pushpa has become popular, now Karan Johar will approach their producer that I will give you more money to make a better movie. Put my name also. Let us become partners in the next season. So you'll get to see that upcoming seasons mein Dharma Production also has become a partner by giving more money. Ultimately, how do you become producer as a partner? You have to just invest money in the movie. And they know that the movie is going to work. Bollywood is also going towards South. So there was this movie Ghazi Attack on submarine wars where India ka submarine, India ka Navy ka submarine which is submerged into the water, and Pakistan ka भी submarine, they were fighting against each other within the water bodies. So they showed in the movie how to bring the boat to the surface, how to take the boat to the bottom. Everything was shown in the movie. So you, as long as within a distance of 12 nautical miles at the top or at the bottom, it will be considered as stay in India. In fact, any follower of Sri Krishna here, any Sri Krishna Mahabharat, any follower of Sri Krishna? No. So when I ask, no, so how will I understand that you are a follower? He is not on Instagram. I am not talking about that follower. I am not following. No, sir, I am not following him. Believe me, in the history of Indian television, the best TV serial ever made was Mahabharat. Not even Ramayana. I have seen both. Not even Ramayana. Mahabharat, not Ekta Kapoor's Mahabharat. There was Mahabharat directed by B.R. Chopra, which was released in 1988, and then multiple times it was. Last time it was released on Doordarshan during COVID. And what a show. In fact, all the episodes even today are available on YouTube. There is this Penn Studio that has purchased the rights of this show. All episodes are available. I saw a few clips of that show while scrolling my social media. Social media algorithm says that if you watch a full video till the end, that means you are liking the video, and then they will show you more and more similar videos. So I got to see more and more clips. I started liking the dialogues, the acting, the everything. I searched on YouTube if the episodes are available, any OTT platform if it is available. YouTube pe all the episodes were uploaded free. And we are chartered accountancy background people. So normal speed is 1.5x. No one watches at 1x. I saw at 2x some of the episodes. So while I was watching the episodes, my wife, my brother, and his wife, all three used to come and laugh. Like, yeah, you watch Mahabharata, such an old 40-year-old show, 35-year-old show. Yeah. I did not argue with them because never argue with illiterate people. Never argue with stupid people. I did not argue. But I told my wife privately, see, I am not going to tell anything to them. They have an entitlement of their own opinion. You have decided to spend your life with me. Pakka, you promised, no? So do one thing, just watch 10 episodes. And 20 minute ka episode at 2x, it will get over in 10 minutes. I am only asking for 1.5 hours from you for watching 10 episodes. And when you have decided to give me your whole life, 1.5 hours is not too much. After that, I will not tell you to watch the 11th episode. Promise. In the 5th or 4th or 5th episode only, I was no longer required to tell her. She only used to tell me, can we start the next one? Such is the acting, the dialogues, the shooting, everything in those days. So in Mahabharata, there was this one incident where Duryodhan and Bhim never liked each other during their childhood also. In fact, Duryodhan was the one who always had problems with Bhim, because Duryodhan believed that his father should have been the king, but because his father was blind, so he did not get the kingdom. So he always had hatred towards the Pandavas. So what Duryodhan does, he mixes some poison in Bhim ka kheer. Like literally it is Surya Vansham of those days. Surya Vansham? He mixes the poison and then ties Bhim and throws him in the water. Bhim ka body goes right up to the seabed, and there he finds Nag Devta. And they say that I am related to Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is your cousin, and therefore I will bring you back to life. They bring Bhim back to life, and Bhim comes walking again home, and Duryodhan and his mama Shakuni are surprised that how, bro, those days also there is, impure poison. Even poison is not proper, bro. They were surprised. So I know you are thinking, sir, nice. Next incident of Mahabharata, sir, please. I am not here to narrate stories of Mahabharata. I am here I'll do one thing. I'll create or conduct a big seminar where I will come in kurta and dhoti. Will put a tilak, and then I will tell you. You know, a lot of these babas, they do that only. They tell you stories from the Mahabharata. Anybody who has seen Mahabharata knows all those stories. Mahabharata is about those small incidents, and every incident has some lesson. And if you want to, continue the discussion, this small incident I could have explained with 1 hour of discussion. So every day I will keep my satsang for 1 hour. You can take per day ticket, or you can take 15 days ka ticket. And I just have to take 15 events from the Mahabharata and explain them for 1 hour. By adding some spices in the discussion, some masala in the discussion, by voice modulation. So Bhim ne kaha, I can do that, and it's a very, very profit making business. You just need some communication skills. Modern version of Mahabharata, presenting before you Baba Surana, something like that. Something like that. This story, what you have to understand is simply this. When Bhim was thrown in the river, he reached up to the sea bed where he found that Nag Devta. If it is within the distance of 12 nautical miles, it is going to be considered as India. So land is India, waters are India up to distance of, and the depth of the water up to the seabed is also India. Last, the airspace. Which airspace? The airspace above the landmass, and as well as the territorial waters will be considered as India. Today, are you aware that supposingly there is a flight which wants to go from Pakistan to China? You know, here is Pakistan, here is China. If a flight has to go from Pakistan to China, shortcut is this. But they are not allowed, because this airspace belongs to India. You cannot take any plane from India's airspace without permission from India's air traffic control. If any plane is found in the radar, India's air traffic control will contact the plane's radio communication equipment and tell them, identify yourself. We are not permitting you. Go away from here. If you don't, then we will attack you. They are not allowed. They have to take this longer route. And these poor people have to spend more on petrol. Poor country, So therefore they want Kashmir. that we will get a shortcut to go to China. Believe me, Pakistan is nothing. If Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai decides they can purchase Pakistan by tonight, nahi, by evening. Evening nahi, it is still 1 o'clock. They can purchase before 5 o'clock. All we have to do is transfer the money. They are so ready. They will not even bargain, because whatever we give them is more than their expectations. There is no negotiation here. The real problem is China. It is China who is funding, supplying, supporting Pakistan, and therefore China and Pakistan want a direct route. One portion of India, Kashmir, is already under the control of China. That area is known as Akshai. It is near this zone called Leh Ladakh. And of course, we all know that there is one portion of Kashmir which is under Pakistan control, known as POK, Pakistan Occupied Control. Pakistan Occupied Kashmir. So the airspace also belongs to India. If you want to take any flight, not just the land massa, also the territorial waters, it is India. Matlab, you were not on the land of India, you were in the air. It's still going to be considered as India. Still going to be considered as India. Means on the land, water bodies within 12 nautical miles, surface or depth, and airspace above both of them is going to be considered as India. The total time that you spend in this entire zone should be 182 or more. Exact 182 will also make you a resident. This, ladies and gentlemen, is India. You have to be here. You have to be here. Is that understood? And the last point. So by the way, I hope I don't have to explain this, that 20 days I am in Kashmir, 30 days in Gujarat, 15 days in the territorial waters, 12 days in the airspace above the landmass. All that will be aggregated to count your 182, obviously. And the last point, if you know, there are some people who frequently travel to other countries, regularly coming and going. If timing data, that is incoming and outgoing, time data is maintained, then in that case, 24 hours of stay in India will be considered as 1 day. If you have the data of what time you entered India and what time you left India, so maintain your stay in India ka details on the basis of hours. As you reach 24 hours, we will consider that as 1 day in India. So this is a little complicated. Let me give you an example. Okay. For example, 1st April, you were in India. Means when the year started, where were you? In India. 2nd April, you left India at 5 p.m. Matlab, you have left India. When 2nd April started, you were in India only. But in the evening at 5 p.m. you left. 3rd April, 4th April, you were out of India. Because you have already left, no? You are outside. 5th April, you come back to India in the morning at 7 a.m. You return at what time? 7 a.m. 6th April and 7th April. 6th April and 7th April, you stay in India only. 8th April, you again leave at 2 p.m. 9th April, you return in the evening at 7 p.m. 10th April, now that you are in India, you stay in India only. 11th April, you again left India in the morning at 10 a.m. Is that possible? Is that possible that a person is continuously coming, going, multiple trips in India, outside India? And welcome back after the technical interruption. Can you observe the story? Going, coming, multiple activities. And now we have to count his physical presence in India. We have to discuss how much time he has spent in India. So let us see how is our calculation going to take place. Date, what is his stay in India, and obviously what is his cumulative stay in India. Let's start with the first date. See, we have to always start our calculation from 1st April only. 1st April, where was he? Was he in India full day? That means, can we count that as one day in India? And cumulative also it is? Fantastic. Now observe carefully, because this is where your knowledge is required. 2nd April, at the start of 2nd April, where was he? India. And he left India, means you understand 2nd April started at 12 midnight. Full night he was here. Day started, he was here. Evening 5 o'clock he left. Come on, do not disappoint me, please. This is not taxation. This is school level maths. If you know how to look at the watch, no, then you should be able to answer. On 2nd April, he spent in India how much time?
17 hours.
How much time?
17 hours.
Sir, how 17? Because 12 to 12 plus 5. Alternatively, you can say there were 7 hours remaining before 2nd April got over. 5 p.m. no? 7 hours. So 24 minus 7. 17 hours. Cumulative stay. 1 day. 17 hours. Correct hai? 3rd and 4th, where was he? That means, can I say this is 0 and this remains 1 day? And now let's talk about 5th April. 5th April, what time he came back? 7 a.m. Come on, tell me. Stay in India, how much? When 5th April started, at that time, where was he? Outside. Midnight, mein. Outside. 7 hours gone. Morning 7 he entered India. Correct hai? 7 hours gone. So he was in India for 17 ke 7. 17, because 7 outside, and after coming back from 7 to 12, 17 hours. Now ladies and gentlemen, this means this is 2 days and 10 hours. Sir, how? 17 plus 17 makes it 34. So 24 will become one more day. One day will become 2 days, and we still have balance of 10 hours left. If you have got the idea, then after this full calculation we will do 6th April and 7th April. In fact, this is so easy. Nothing here. 6th and 7th. What, sir? He is in India. Very easy. This I am doing. Wait. 2 days, and this total becomes 4 days, and 8th April you will do. 8th April you will do. 14 hours. Sir, how 14 hours? 12 plus 2. Correct hai? Stay in India 14 hours. So total 5 days ho gaya. 10 hours plus 14 hours makes it 24. 4 days plus 24, 5 days. 9th April. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Returns at 7 p.m. So stay in India is 5 hours. So 5 days. Fantastic. Next. 10th April. In India. Very easy. 1 day. 6 days. 5 hours. Next. 11th April. Left at 10. So stay in India. Come on. 10 a.m. a.m. How many hours? 10 hours. Sir, how 10? 12 o'clock he was here, and in 10 hours he left. 10 hours. No confusion, no? This is how we will count your stay in India. Now read the heading. Now read the point I. If incoming and outgoing time data is maintained, then we will consider 24 hours as one day. You understood? Now understand the other side of this. Sir, it is not possible. What are you trying to say? First of all, what is definition of India? that the moment I am within the distance of 12 nautical miles, I don't have to touch the land, no. I am within the distance of 12 nautical miles. Or maybe I am in an aircraft and I enter India's airspace. India's airspace I will enter, then the airport will come. That also airspace I enter from one of the borders. Airport can be somewhere in between or the other side of the country. So that much time I am in Indian airspace. Landing ka time is not required. Stay in India starts with entering India's airspace. So what will I need to do? First of all, I will have to pay the airline extra money for buying a window ticket. I will sit at the window and I will keep on checking. Hey India! Hey India! 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 Hey India! Hey, time note ka, time note ka. He saw some slums. The moment he saw slums, he realized, hi, India. I can see traffic. I can see slums. I can see dirt. I can see poverty. Oh, finally we are in India for sure. Bro, it was Pakistan. You understand, it is not practically possible to maintain timing data. And therefore, the statement starts with this word. Because we know it is not possible. They are just waiting for you to say, hey taxpayer, if you are ready to give us timing with proof, then we will be very reasonable with you. 24 hours equal to 1 day. Give. You know what is the reply of the taxpayer? Sir, it is not possible to maintain timing data. Is that a very genuine reply? Okay. If not possible, then the incoming and outgoing both days will be included. If they directly say that we will consider both days, then you will be angry. They're like, no, we are not considering both days. You give us number of hours data. But they know it is not possible. Now, if it is not possible, then we have no choice. Incoming and outgoing both will be considered as stay in India. In the above example, if I don't keep the data of the timing that I have kept here, so what is going to happen? 1st April, am I in India? 2nd April, yes, I left, no, but I don't know the time. So the day I leave will also be included. 3rd and 4th, I am not in India for sure. So I am not going to, I'll do the marking here. 3rd and 4th, I am outside. So I will not be considered. 5th, I don't know the time. I just know that I have come back. Will I count it? Yes. 6th and 7th, I am in India. So 6th and, you know this. 6th and 7th, done. Now 8th, I am leaving, will be counted. 9th, I am coming back, will be counted. 10th, I am in India, will be counted. 11th, I am leaving, that will also be counted. So the total is becoming 19. 9 days. 19 तो date भी नहीं है. Look how 6 days and 15 hours, if timing data is maintained, then 6 days and 15 hours without timing data is becoming. Just imagine if with this calculation, his stay in India was coming to 180 days. But with this calculation, it will become 182 plus. And due to this, he will become a, and due to this, he will have to pay tax on global income. See, when I asked you what will you like to become? Oh, patriotic. So, actual correct answer is non-resident. Now, think about it from income tax point of view, from government point of view. What will they like to see you become? Resident, so that they can take tax on world income. So, they have kept incoming as well as outgoing because timing data practically is not possible to be maintained. This, ladies and gentlemen, was explanation of your first condition 182. The 9 points. Yes. क्या था? What point? Oh bro. So ठीक है. You had any friend in the previous batch? No one. You just directly landed here from somewhere. How? Someone must have told you go, it's a good class. Your brother. What is the name of your brother? Real brother. So when I said you had someone in the previous batch, your brother is not your friend, you mean? Mayur Jadhav, last batch only. November 24 converted to Jan 25. He's up here. He's your real brother. So when I asked you, you know someone in the previous batch? No, sir. I did not have any friend. Sir, but my real brother. If you are good friends with your real brother, no, you don't need anyone on the planet. The biggest lesson from the Ramayana. That if your brother is your friend, you can defeat the king of Lanka, who in terms of wealth, knowledge, power, in everything he is superior, but you can defeat him because his brother was against him, your brother was with you. Two Vanvasis actually defeated the king of Lanka because the two brothers were together. But your brother, as you now rightly have said, is not your. He is not your good friend, so he recommended you this class. Okay, you go there. If he recommended you this, that means he is your good friend. And he must have told you, no, bro. Okay, tension mat le, you don't have to ask doubts, automatically it will come. He never told you this. He told you, no, but you don't trust him. Like so, yes, you know Indian, and you are the younger one, obviously. You are the older one. Acha, you for some reason decided to. So actually, younger ones are not trustworthy. So it is very normal that if you did not trust him in this regard, believe me, younger ones are not trustworthy. Hai na? It is true. You are the younger one, no? Therefore it is true. So ladies and gentlemen, sorted. If he leaves and maintains timing data, then we will check the hours. It is not possible to maintain. Okay, we will include that also. This is explanation of 182. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, chapter 2 over. Hash, Nash. We are still in residential status. Scope of total income we have not started. Acha sir, residential status over. Hash, Nash. We are still in individual. Sir, individual over. Hash, Nash. We are still in step number 1 of individual. Step 2 is ROR or NOR. Acha sir, step number 1 over. Hash, Nash. First condition in step number 1 is over. हे प्रभु, हे हरि राम, ये क्या हुआ? हाँ, प्रेमानंद. Sir, now if I do or and I do 2, so you got to tell me 2 of what? Sir, hoga. We don't know. Must be 2 of something. Second condition of residential status of individual. Step number 1, resident, non-resident. If I don't spend 182, then condition 1 is dissatisfied. But I can still become resident with condition 2 or condition 3. Correct? So one thing is clear. Once you touch, you don't have to cross 182 days. You just have to touch. Once you touch 182 days, are you a resident? But if you don't touch 182 days, then condition 1 is dissatisfied. You can still become resident with condition 2 or condition 3. Condition 2. If you have been in India, that means one more time can I say the only factor is physical presence in India. If you were in India for a period of 60 days or more, once again equal to covered during the previous year. Matlab, what is your exam previous year? 1st April 24 to 31st March 25. 1st April 24 to 31st March 25. 60 days or more during the previous year. Obviously, if I leave the condition here, so do you realize 182 will become a total waste? Sir, if 60 is making resident, then what is the use of 182? No, 60 cannot come alone. In 60, there is one more condition. Means in 60, you will have to do one more thing. See, 182 is so capable alone. It does not need anyone else. In one line, you are resident. So, but in 60, in one line, you will not become resident. In 60, you will have to fulfill one more condition. So, if I fulfill 182, I don't have to do anything else. But if I fulfill 60, so I will have to fulfill one more condition. Otherwise, condition 2 will be considered as dissatisfied. Condition 2 will be considered as fulfilled only when both parts of condition 2 are fulfilled. So, between condition 1 and condition 2, I can write or. But within condition 2, I have to write and, because I will have to fulfill both conditions. Understood or no? So what are those two conditions? First is 60 days during your previous year, and second is again greater than or equal to 365 days or more during 365 days or more. Now, first, what they have written in the law? English, everyone. During 4 immediately preceding previous years. English, 4 immediately preceding previous years. One more time, please. 4. Yes, sir. English. Last 4 years. Simple. The taxation laws can be actually made very simple. They are very complicated, but they can be made simple. It simply depends on who you learn it from. It can be actually made very easy. They in the law are saying 4 immediately preceding previous years. We just have to say last 4 years. See, this is your exam year. So you have to see the last 4 years, means you will not count this year. Before this, which are the last 4 years? Go in reverse order for convenience. Before 24-25, which are the last 4 years? 23-24, 22-23, 21-22. Correct? Eh? Between this period, are these last 4 years? 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24. In these 4 years, your total aggregate stay in India should be minimum 365. That means, if this is my year 24-25, either I do 182 in this year itself, or if I have not done 182 year, then here I can do 60, and last 1, 2, 3, 4 years ka total I have to make. Is it possible this full year I was here, rest of the period I was not here? Doesn't matter. Total is still becoming 365. Total and all the explanatory points that we have written under 182, for example, equal to 60, equal to 365 also covered. In leap year also it will be 6365 only. Place within India is irrelevant. Nationality, citizenship is going to be irrelevant. Purpose is going to be irrelevant. Need not be continuous. It can be 100 days here, 100 days here, 100 days here, 65 days here. It can be 20, 20, 20. Current year 60, last 4 years 365. 60 and 365. You have to do both. If you do only 60 or only 365, then condition 2 is dissatisfied. You have to go to condition 3. 182 is very, very capable, powerful alone. But 60, 365 need support of each other. So the answer is 182 or 60 and 365. The answer is what, sir? 182 or 60 and 365 is how you are going to become a resident. Understood? So 182 you will check in the current year. 60 you will check in the current year. And 365 you will check in the last 4 years. And all other explanatory points, definition of India, timing data, number of hours, incoming, outgoing day, everything else, all these 9 points. You know, the beauty of taxation is that once you study something in detail, if the same thing comes again, you don't have to again and again repeat it. So everything is going to be same. Everything is going to be same. Is that clear? Fantastic. Condition 1, 180 days in the previous year. Condition 2, 60 days in the previous year and 365 days in the last 4 years. Are you clear about these two conditions? And the explanatory notes are also same. Now see, I am developing the way in which you should be thinking. One thing we all have understood, that the first check I will do for 24-25. If in 24-25 I am getting the answer as 182 or more, I don't have to check anything else. My answer is resident. If in 24-25 I am getting less than 60, say 59 or lower, then also I don't have to check anything. My answer is non-resident, because for condition 2 also minimum 60 is required. So if it is 59, then also my answer is over. If it is 182, I am done. Answer is resident. If it is 59, I am done. Answer is non-resident. When will I check this? This I will check only if my answer is coming to this. Do you realize? Because if my answer is 182, I don't have to check last 4 years. Answer is resident. If it is coming to 182, if it is coming to 59, again I don't have to check anything else. My answer is non-resident. When will I check the last 4 years? When the current year answer is coming between 60 and 181, then I have to check last 4 years. If it is 365, so resident. If it is not 365, so non-resident. You understood the interpretation here? So obviously, take home will be 182 or 60 and 365. 182 or 60 and 365. Then you will become a resident, and therefore you will have to pay tax on world income. What will you like to become? Non-resident. Non-resident. That means you will have to dissatisfy both. Then you become non-resident. Then foreign income will not be taxable. Only Indian income will be taxable. Ye clear hai? What is your mind saying that, sir? We have understood condition 1. Condition 2 ka all explanatory points are same only. We have understood condition 2. What should we now do? Third condition. Sir, do this. Third condition, so that step 1 is over. Bad news. That condition 2 is not over. Too much to discuss now. And this is taxation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all now going to go into the depth of condition 2. 63, 65 ka understanding. Come with me, huh? And then we come out again and go to condition 3. Come out also with me. Don't stay behind. Some don't come with me, stay behind, and then some come with me but stay there only. Well, nice, sir. 63, 65. Looking good, sir. Ready, everyone? Sir, there are 2 cases where condition 2 is not applicable only. So for normal people, you and me, we have condition 1, 2 and 3 also is coming up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But there are 2 people for whom this condition does not apply. Means if I am in India for 60 days and last 4 years 365, I won't be considered as resident. I will be considered as resident only and only and only if I fulfill condition 1, that is 182, and I will be considered as non-resident if I don't fulfill that condition. The reason is 6365 is not applicable only to me. Matlab, when your previous year 24-25 starts, we start counting your stay in India. We will include all the places of India. If you touch 182, are you a resident? Alternatively, if you touch 60 and last 4 years 365, you still become resident. But there are 2 people to whom this 60 wala point is not applicable only. Means we will not make you resident here. We will not apply this condition. We will wait for you to complete 182. At 60, we will not make you resident. We will wait for you to complete 182. That means, do you understand, there are 2 people who will become resident late? Because the second condition 6365 is not applicable. If 60 is not applicable, that means they can become resident only after touching 180. See, for me it is very easy to give you the 2 cases, 1 and 2. 2 cases, 2 different people for whom 6365 is not applicable. But I want to maintain one distinction between us and everybody else in the country. If I have to call myself the best in the subject in the country, it is not possible unless and until you become the best. And how will you become the best? If you only know that there are these 2 people for whom 6365 not applicable, that means they become resident only with 182 days, then you know what everyone else does. You will also know, sir, why is this second condition not applicable? For which, before telling you who those 2 people are, I will have to have some logical discussion with you. And my discussion begins with the same question that I have asked multiple times today. What is your preference? What will you like to become? Non-resident. See, you become resident, so you have to pay tax on world income. Correct? Two types of people are becoming resident till now. Somebody who is touching 60, somebody who is touching 182. Of course, 60 guy has to touch one more thing, 365. Assume that is done. So there are two people, 60 and 182. 60 and 182. Do you understand? If we remove the 60 condition, that means we make you resident a little late. That means we want you to spend more time in India. Our government wants to encourage you to stay a little longer. You have come to India, 30 days done, 40, 45 done, 50 days done, 55 days done. Now you are going back. Why, sir? Because normally 60 makes me resident. And if I become resident, my foreign income will become taxable. Correct? But government wants you to stay a little longer. Please don't go, no. तुसी जा रहे हो. Don't go, हाँ. हाँ. Our government is like literally singing for you. अभी ना जाओ छोड़ कर के दिल अभी भरा. Our government does not want you to go. Sir, what is the reason? You understand that if we don't make you resident at 60 and wait till 182, so taxpayer can peacefully stay here for a little longer, not become resident, world income will not be taxable, at least till the time I don't touch 182. That means between 60 and 182, you'll be spending some more time in India, and government wants you to spend that more time in India. They want to be with you. Sir, is this Miloni? No. 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 I will explain the 2 points, and their logic is government wants you to stay. Sir, why the government wants you to stay? Let us see what are the two cases. Case 1. If you are a citizen of India. If you are who? Citizen of India. Who is normally living in India. Where do you stay? In India. But you are going abroad. Why are you going abroad? For the purpose of employment. For the purpose of earning. You are going outside India as a crew member of Indian ship. In short, this is someone who is going outside India for earning money. Why are you going? For earning. Earning. Matlab, normally where do you stay? In India. Then why do you suddenly want to go outside India? Money, 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 money. Means you will go outside. Earn money outside. Earn money in a foreign country. Earn. Then come back with that foreign money and stay here and spend that money. Stay here for 20-30 days. You will be spending foreign money. Because India you are not earning. No, you are going outside. Why are you going outside? For earning. And that earned money you are spending in India. The foreign income you are spending in India. 30 days you stay, you spend foreign money. 40-50 days you stay. 55 days you stay. But now you want to leave. Because sir, if I touch 60 and I become resident, so my foreign income will become taxable. But government is enjoying the fact that you are spending your foreign money. As a consumer, if you spend money, so on everything that you buy, you will be paying the consumption taxes. Plus, if you are spending, then the locals are earning. We want you to stay and spend more of your foreign earned money in India. So please don't go after 60 days. Stay a little longer and spend more of your foreign money in India. And don't worry, we will not make you resident. We are not interested in that income tax. Stay here, spend more money, the foreign money will be spent here. And therefore, abhi na jao chhod kar ke bill abhi bill. You understood the logic. Nothing is bigger than logic. Nothing is bigger than logic. spend more of your foreign money in the form of consumption. And therefore, we will not make you resident after 60 days. We will wait for the logic of this exception. We call it exception only. You and me, 182 or 6365. 182 or 6365. But this guy, only 182. 6365, not applicable. Sir, why no? Because we want you to stay and spend your foreign money. Citizen of India who is going abroad for the purpose of earning, then 6365, not applicable. Understood the exception and the logic. Okay. So becoming resident, condition 1, 182. Condition 2, 60 and 365. 60 and 365. But to this guy and one more guy coming up, 6365, not applicable. Understood the exception? Forget the exception, the logic behind the exception. We want you to stay a little longer. Fantastic. But while the point is over, I still have some explanation remaining in me. For example, this exception ki facility, this facility is available only and only to someone who is citizen of India. That means if a foreign citizen is spending foreign money here, we still apply 6365. Stay if you want to, nahi to get lost. This facility is being provided only to, so I have to explain what is this. And for this crew member, somewhere in the year 2015, you all were there? I was also there. In 2015, there was a circular released by government explaining something about this crew member. On that circular, they have also asked question in CA Inter. Normally, they ask circular based questions in final. But because it was an amendment, in 2016, they asked a question. Final ka RTP also, they had kept that question. We have that question in our book also. But I have to explain that circular to you. So one explanation about this, then this point will get over, then I will take you to the second exception. But throughout, everyone is with me, no, till now? Throughout, you have to know that when I am doing point A, what is this point A? First exception to 6365 not applicable. So normally it is 182 and 6365, but this guy it is only 182. 60 pay we won't make you resident because we want you to spend more time and more of your foreign money. Understood? But then the question is, this facility is only for citizen, and a very important question arises, sir, how and when does one become citizen of India? You understand the question? How can one become citizen of India? How? One way of becoming citizen of India is by birth. And this is not an Indian concept. This is a global concept. If you are born in the geographical location of any country, that country has to grant you citizenship. If you were born in India, you are by default and automatically an Indian citizen. And I hope you understand, in order to fall in this exception, I have to be citizen. And how can I become citizen? One of the ways is birth. There are more ways coming up. And by the way, whatever I am explaining to you is not taxation. This is 10th standard civics. But I believe some of you all gave 10th standard exam during COVID. Just actually did not do only anything. So school civics may it is taught, but because you have not studied, so I have to teach you. By birth. Global concept. Global, huh? You know, developed countries like America, Australia, etc., UK, England, they give you citizenship by birth. They don't give you birth, they give you citizenship. They give you citizenship by birth. And here also some Indians use their smartness. You know what they do? If they are expecting parents, they actually go to those countries so that they deliver their baby over there. And once the child is US citizen, so it becomes very easy for the parents also to get visa. So somewhere in between, there was this issue about H1B visas. America was not renewing the visas of other countries, people who were working over there. But these parents will never have a problem because they are parents of American citizen. My father has a younger sister who, in our language, we call her Bua. I don't know, whatever you call her. Father has a younger sister. So she got married when I was in the 8th standard, about 12, 13 years old I was. Quite some time now, more than 20 years ago. And since then, she has settled in America. Her husband works in America. Earlier, they were at a place called Miami. Now they are at a place called California, San Francisco, California. So When she was expecting her first child after marriage, she came to India, because in our community we have this culture that the first child will always be at the parents' house, because it is the first delivery. I think most communities have that system. It is a first delivery, inexperienced mother, so she gets more comfort with her parents at her parents house. And plus, during pregnancy ka care is fine, but post pregnancy care is too much. Matlab, you have to take too much of care. Some new mothers undergo depression, etc. Also postpartum depression, too many things now these days. So she came here, she delivered her first child, a boy here, and then of course she left with her. When she was expecting her second child, the whole family requested her that please come here. You all are alone over there. Plus, your husband is working. Plus, you have a small baby already. So, who will take care of you? It is better that you come here. The full family is here. So, we will be able to take care of you. Her husband was very, very adamant. He was like, nothing doing. Come what may, this second child will be delivered in America. If required, I will hire nurses in double, triple shifts. I will keep extra nurse. I will keep one person to take care of the baby, the existing baby. But come what may, this second child will be delivered in America. Later we realize he planned only the second child for delivery in America. Now this second child, her daughter, was born in America. She is an American citizen. Their whole family, our whole family has Indian passport. She has US passport. We are poor people, garib, we have Aadhaar card. She has something called social security number given by government of America. For those who don't know, in America, everything is free. You just have to prove to the government, sir, I don't have money. I don't have money for my health. I don't have money for my education. Government will give you free health, free education, and state of art, not like our KEM hospital. Best quality health facility, best quality education facility. Here, no, we have to pay lakhs of rupees for school admissions. Believe me, the school in which my son goes, I have recently found out that one of my relatives paid 25 lakh rupees as donation for admission in that school. That school does not grant admission only. We don't have enough good schools in our area. 25 lakh rupees. I had clearly told my wife that I am not going to pay a single rupee of bribe for school admission. Not because I don't have the money, but because I am a teacher. There is plenty of corruption already in my country. We ourselves indulge in some corruption every time we are caught in a traffic offense. Some corruption we have all done in our life. But education is the last place where I want any kind of corruption. My child will go to a municipal corporation school. I have got no problem, but I am not going to pay any bribe. But I was never required to. We just filled the form, wrote qualification of both parents. Both parents are chartered accountants, and we got admission without interview. The school is very particular about educated parents. I wrote CA, ma'am is CA and CS both. She has done Chartered Accountancy, Company Secretary both. We got admission without interview. नहीं तो other people are, believe me, paying 20 to 25 lakh rupees for admission. America में the rule is, whichever school is nearest to your house has to give you admission. And if you don't have money, government will pay for it. Government will provide you everything free. But government of America levies something called unemployment tax. Don't say unemployed. If you don't have work, deliver pizzas, drive taxis, do some work. We will take care of you. But don't stay unemployed. They are very particular. So they give their citizens something called social security. She had that. In fact, every time she comes to India, no, they generally come to India in the month of August. There are two reasons. In August, America has school vacation. One reason. Second, August also has Raksha Bandhan. So their collection also takes place. Bro, collection is collection. No? Raksha Bandhan mein they come. So when she is there, she sits in the center and all of us sit around her in a circle. We see her passport different from ours. Social security. Wow, American. And she talks also in an accent. American citizen. Hi, Sid Bhaiya, how are you? Like, hey, don't try to flaunt your American accent in front of me. Last time I taught her Marathi bad words. And giving bad words in English it just sounds classy, but there is no fun. No matter how hard you try, you get only one word. You get the real variety in Hindi, bro. And even better it is Marathi, because in Marathi when we abuse someone, it has some music also. Tuzya. Marathi bad words are musical bad words. It has bad words with music. So I taught her the Marathi bad words. And she started speaking those bad words at home. And her mom was shocked. Well, how? That only, tuzia, tuzia. She was speaking all of them at home. Her mom was in a state of shock. Where did she learn this? She asked her, who taught you this? She took my name. Well, he taught me. And my aunt, my bua, she asked me that, have you lost your brain? What are you teaching the kid? She's speaking Marathi bad words at home. Is this what you teach your students also? I said, no, they know everything. I only learned from them. They know all these bad. I learned from them only. I had no idea. You see how sincere I am? Can you see the sincerity in my eyes? I don't know a single bad word. Everything I was taught by my students. Purposely they gave birth in America because she is now an American citizen. Every time they come here, they don't have to wait in the immigration queue. They want to go to the US consulate. It is in BKC near ICAI office only. Normal people have to stand in a queue over there, but she will not be waiting in a queue. And with her parents also get entry. Supposingly, American government ever creates a trouble about granting work visa to Indians. They can if they want. It is their policy. But they can't create trouble for this family because they are parents of American child. Citizen, their citizen. They can't cause trouble to their own citizen. They have to renew the visa of their parents, of the child ka parents. Very smartly Indians do that. Every country in the world has this policy. I had once gone to a country called New Zealand. So I was filling the visa form. In that visa form, we had to fill the form. They ask for details. Whether they will grant visa or no will depend on them. There was a question. Are you a pregnant lady? I checked. My answer was obviously no. Bro, during COVID times, I went from XL to double XL to triple XL, but I have come back to, my normal, lots and lots of hard work required because COVID may, 2.5 years, I took all lectures sitting at one place. All online lectures, no traveling, nothing, and therefore things were very difficult. My clothes were not fitting, everything, lots and lots of trouble. But I have come back to not completely in shape, but I am on the correct track. So very soon I'll be perfect, but definitely not a pregnant. And the next question was, if the above answer is yes, do you plan to deliver the child in our country? Are they make common forms? My answer was not applicable. But if the answer is yes, they will deny the visa because they have to unnecessarily grant citizenship. Globally and including India, if you are born within the geography of India, then they have to grant you citizenship. So one way of becoming citizen is by birth. Second, by birth of your parents. So by the way, any student out here born outside India, you talk about yourself. You are saying no for everyone. You checked everybody's Aadhaar card. Anyone born outside India? So bro, all of outside India. Where? Iran. Fantastic. I'll come to you in a moment. But everyone else born in India, Indian citizens, you understand? One way of becoming citizen is by birth. Second way, you were born in Iran. Parents? Both in India or anyone? Any one parent also born in India. Any one parent. Then you can get Indian citizenship. You have Indian citizenship because both parents. Any one parent also born in India, you can take Indian citizenship. You always had the option of taking citizenship of Iran also.
वहाँ पे जो है ना कम्युनिटी के हिसाब से जो है ना अगर इंडियन हूँ तो भी जाके सेटल.
I am not asking about settlement. Settlement you can do wherever you want. Settlement you can do in America, England, wherever. As a tourist, as a resident. But we are talking about citizenship of that country, voting power, participating in elections. That also was allowed to you because you were born in Iran. But you have decided to take Indian citizenship. Your birth was outside India. See, the other students and me, we were born in India. We are Indian citizen. He, by birth, was in Iran. Good, we have an example in class. Otherwise, we would have taken some outside example. He, by birth, was citizen of Iran, but because parents were born in India, you can actually take Indian citizenship, which I think you have already taken. You have Aadhaar card. That means you have taken Indian citizenship. For example, this cousin sister of mine, she was born in America. She is an American citizen, but both her parents also were born in India. My aunt, her husband, they were both born in India. If she wants, she can actually take Indian citizenship by birth of parents. Of course, India does not allow dual citizenship. So to get Indian citizenship, she will have to first surrender. Who does that? Who surrenders American citizenship to get Indian citizenship? Lol. No. Who are you? Malaika Arora? I'll explain how. She left Salman Khan's family, matlab Arbaz Khan, for Arjun Kapoor. Relatable? No. No. Arey, you can't leave America's citizenship for Indian citizenship. Okay, one more example. You know Suzanne Khan, Bollywood. She is ex-wife of Hrithik Roshan. They got divorced. Do you know that? Because she was having an affair with Arjun Rampal, another Bollywood lesser known actor. See, Hrithik Roshan is, superstar, so everyone knows. She left Hrithik Roshan for Arjun Rampal. Is same as leaving American citizenship for Indian citizenship. Still not understood? Abhi samjha? No one does that, but you have an option. Like you did. You have taken Indian citizenship. So, if your birth is in India, you can get the citizenship. If your parents' birth has taken place in India, any one of the parents, then also you can get Indian citizenship. Third way is a concept called green card. Get married to an Indian citizen and permanently settle here. Get married to an Indian citizen and permanently settle here. For example, Hardik Pandya's wife. If she married him and permanently decided to settle here, she can get Indian citizenship. For example, another Bollywood actress, Priyanka Chopra, she got married to that small kid, looks like her younger brother. Nick Jonas. Nick Jonas, the Jonas brothers. That doesn't it look like that she got married to her younger brother or something like that, as a small baby? If he decides to settle here permanently, so he can get Indian citizenship. Get married to an Indian citizen, permanently settle here is one more way in which you can become citizen. See, I am explaining to you how to become citizen. With citizen, if you are going abroad for earning, so 63, bro, we are doing residential status. Just in case. I told you, we go into the depth and we have to come back. We have still not gone into the depth, we are on the way. Second way, by parents' birth. Third way, green card. Fourth way of becoming citizen, honorary. Whenever government of India feels, bro, you are too good, bro. Arey bro, come to our country, no, bro, we will chill together. Arey bro, come no, we will give you citizenship, bro. Whenever government of India feels that you are too chilled, bro, we come no, yeah, bro, we'll chill together. They can actually offer you honorary citizenship. Any foreign national, government of India can offer something called honorary citizenship. We actually have a real life example of this. There is a singer who is based from Pakistan, means his ancestors are in Pakistan. Of course, ancestors in Pakistan indirectly mean ancestors in India only. Hello, IYKYK. You all know IYKYK? If you have to give the full form, that means you don't know it. If you know, you know. And he, I believe, is a citizen of Canada, was a citizen of Canada. Ancestors in Pakistan, based from Pakistan, but citizenship of Canada. He came to India first time roughly about 20-30 years ago. 20 years ago, little over 20 years ago. And he became overnight hit in India with his first album, Mujhko Bhi To Lift Kara De. No idea? There is this singer called Adnan Sami. Heard his name? Adnan Sami? Singer hai. From Pakistan. I think citizenship of Canada, but I'm not 100% sure about it. He came to India, became an instant hit. He spent about 2 decades in India. During these 2 decades, he lost a lot of things. He was, I think, 250 kgs in weight. Now he is under 100. So he has lost more than 150 kgs weight. He got married twice and lost both wives in divorce. He purchased property in India and had to give the property to his wives under alimony, divorce, separation arrangement, peace of mind. In fact, his government refused to renew his passport. They said, bro, you always stay in India. Then why are you coming here? Only to renew your passport? Go, we don't renew your passport. And if he does not have passport, तो फिर government of India cannot grant him work visa. Even if they want to, even if he's doing good, even if he has connections in Bollywood, politics, but we can give you visa only if you have passport. He was in a fix. He was in a dilemma. What to do? And therefore, on 26th of January, it was Republic Day, and Modi ji was Prime Minister. Now, whether it was 15, 16 or 17, I don't exactly remember the year, but it was Republic Day and Modi ji was the Prime Minister. Modi ji, who is generally known as a communal guy, can you believe this? He actually offered Adnan Sami, Pakistani singer, Indian citizenship. And with a lot of love, affection and grace, Adnan Sami, the Pakistani singer, is now an Indian citizen. He is now an Indian citizen. For those who think Modi ji is communal, this was done by Modi ji. Modi ji is not communal. You wait until you see Yogi ji. If it was Yogi ji, he would have said, bro, first of all, from today you will be not Adnan Sami, you will be Anand Swami. Anand Swami. Oh, Yogi ji. He will first make you change your name to Anand Swami. Then he'll say, wait, I'll see if I can do something about it. Once he is at the top, no, you'll genuinely believe, no, Modi ji, you were only nice. Human nature hai. We realize the relevance, the importance of anything and any person only after we lose. We never tend to respect what we have. And we start respecting only after we lose. Human tendency, human nature. Bro, believe me, if she is not respecting you today, she no, matlab, I'm just confirming. No, you can have all preferences, it is legal now. If today she is not respecting you, no problem. Go away from her life. Believe me, one day she will. You keep waiting for that day. Keep waiting for that day. One day she will. Huh. So you wait until you have Yogi ji, you'll start falling in love. You're like, no, you are only so. And I to consider Modi ji as a very, very big inspiration for a lot of things. But I don't want to waste time right now in discussing that. As and when the situation comes, I'll take inspiration from him in an example. Let him be an example for us. So wherever required, I'll say this good thing was done by him. As an inspiration, we will take it. As an example, we will take it. Not right now. So right now, you understand whenever government of India wants, they can grant you, offer you citizenship. And one more way, recent way, and a very, very controversial way. Some of you may or may not like the discussion here, but believe me, dear students, the discussion is about knowledge, not about politics. You and me sitting and having political discussion will create fights. See, we are living in a democracy. You have the right to vote for the candidate you like. I have the right for voting for the candidate that I like. We all know ultimately आएगा तो मोदी. And अभी तो देखो, Lok Sabha elections are over, Maharashtra elections are over, municipal corporation elections are scheduled, but they do not have too much effect in the overall national picture. Locally, they will affect us, but fair enough. We are all matured adults. This guy Adnan is not admitting he is a minor. We all know, but he is not admitting in front of all of us. You can clearly look at him and identify he is still a minor. We are matured adults in a democracy. Everyone other than Adnan, we have the right to vote. So adult hai? That is nail polish. He is showing the voting mark. Bro, recently we had Maharashtra election, so the vote mark is still there. And this is a historic year, I must tell you. 2024 we had Lok Sabha elections, we had Maharashtra elections, we'll have municipal. We were supposed to have now 2024 just getting over. This year we also had ICAI elections just few days ago. Few days ago only ICAI ka new council will be elected now. So this year I have already voted thrice. Different elections. Modi ji is proposing one nation, one election. We'll have to wait and watch. But all of us, other than Adnan, who is a minor and he has only put that. My son tells me, my son is now, he'll turn 6 in April. He tells me, Daddy, I also want this voting mark. Then he took some marker pen and he did it. As a child, when I was a school going child and I used to see, my seniors, my uncles, my cousins, elder cousins, who used to go and vote during elections and these mark, I was so fascinated. I also used to do this marking on my index finger with a marker pen, like how you did it. We are having the freedom to vote for whomsoever we like. So we will not get into political discussion. Let us respect each other's political preferences. This is slightly controversial. You and me can, sit and fight if we decide to. Let's not fight and understand what it is. Our government has now brought something very, very fresh and hot. Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA-NRC, National Register of Citizens, Citizenship Amendment Act. If I have to give you a brief about what is this, okay? As per this law, if you are from any of the neighboring Islamic countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, you are from these countries, which are Islamic countries, which are majorly dominated by followers of Islam, and you are a minority community in that country. Matlab, you are basically a Hindu, a Sikh, a Buddhist, a Jain living in Pakistan, Bangladesh or Afghanistan. And you are not getting proper treatment, correct treatment, equal treatment out there. So any non-Muslim of Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, welcome to India. We will grant you citizenship. That is Citizenship Amendment. Non-Muslims of neighboring Islamic countries are given an invitation to become citizens of India. Now the opposition is clearly against this proposal, because opposition is clearly saying that they have always said that this government is anti-Islam, anti-Muslim, and you are clearly doing this. Now you're doing it openly, you don't have any shame. Secretly you're doing, that's a different thing. Now you're doing it openly, you don't have any shame. Opposition obviously is saying that you are purposely bringing more and more non-Muslims from other countries, which will further increase your vote bank only. Because we all know that the current ruling party of our country has a fundamental following of Hindutva. It gets elected only on the basis of Hindutva. In fact, political analysts today clearly tell the Indian National Congress, the only way in which you can now come back to power is you tell the world that we will also support Hindutva. See, agreed, it's a democracy, but all the childhood games we played, we always heard one proverb: majority wins. A group of 10 friends wants to go for a movie and there are 2 movies released. If 8 say that we want to go for the first movie, then obviously we go for the first movie, ignoring what the 2 want. Because majority wins. And being a Hindu dominated country, it is ultimately going to be the majority who is voting for you. When the voting percentages are lower, that means most Hindus have not come out from their houses to vote. So sometimes, what happened in Lok Sabha was this only. Everyone was so confident, whether I go or I don't go, it is he only, Modi ji is only going to win. No one went only. So Modi ji almost lost. But we realized this, and therefore in the state elections, people actually went out of their houses, and we had roughly 60-70% voting, which was clearly evident in the Maharashtra election results. So opposition obviously is, opposition's job is to oppose. They are saying, Modi ji, you are anti-Islam, so you are bringing this proposal. What is Modi ji's counter answer? Let us understand. He is saying, when India's partition took place, it was a religion-based partition, we all know. Jinnah wanted a separate country, and Jinnah did it. In fact, very recently, we have an excellent web series on this topic on OTT platform called Sony Live. There is a recently released web series called Freedom at Midnight. Just released last month. It is the whole story of India's partition, where Muhammad Ali Jinnah clearly said that I will not settle without a separate country. In fact, I want two parts. I want Western India. So he did riots in the Bengal side, Kolkata side, which he partitioned into East Pakistan, which of course we all know later became Bangladesh, and of course Punjab. Punjab was a big state. The line was drawn in between. One portion of Punjab in India, which is Amritsar, and another portion Punjab is in Lahore. Another portion of Punjab is in Pakistan, which is basically Lahore. The border was drawn right in the middle of Punjab. The Muslim-dominated areas were converted into Pakistan. We that much history we all know that India's partition was a religion-based partition. While on one hand, people of there is a Muslim living in Amritsar and there is a Sikh living in Lahore because it was one big state, Punjab. But now we know that these are two different countries, so we had to migrate. During migration, lot of attacks took place, lot of killings took place, and therefore government decided to put this to rest, stating that Modi ji says that during partition, Nehru ji said, dear non-Muslims living in Lahore, Karachi, Bangladesh, kindly stay there only. Don't come to India because already we have trouble of handling people here. Plus, for you to stay there, don't worry, we are giving government of Pakistan 65 crore rupees. In 1947, India gave 65 crore. 1947. Today it can be 656,500 crores if you put the inflation. 65 crore rupees India gave to Pakistan. You can research this wherever you want. Clearly available on all public platforms. To take care of non-Muslims also, because we don't want you to come. So please stay there. At the same time, I promise. Who said this? Nehruji at the time of partition. At the same time, I promise that if you ever feel any difficulty out there, because ultimately they are Islam-dominated countries. If they ever mistreat you, welcome to India whenever you want. Your next generation, third generation, fourth generation, whenever you want, you come back to India, is a promise which Nehruji made at the time of partition. And Modi ji is saying, I am only honoring Nehruji's promise. And therefore, I am inviting them to become Indian citizens. Hey, Bhagwan. So Modi ji is saying that Nehruji said that welcome to India. In 1947, believe me, I was not there. So whether, somewhere Nehruji must be wondering, मैं कभी बोला रे? Wherever he is, he must be wondering, when did I say this? I never said this. There are so many statements floating on social media, WhatsApp, university educated people. Nehruji did this, Rajiv ji did that, Indira ji did this. Bro, none of us were there when they were assassinated. We have no bloody idea whether they actually made these statements or not. If you have to make the best prime ministers of India ka list, Rajiv Gandhi sir will be in the top 3. He has to be in the top 3. Because today, if India has computers, it is only because of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. Otherwise, there would have been no computers. Liberalization took place when he was the Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Finance Minister. Without Rajiv Gandhi, sir, India would have been nothing. He was such a far-sighted man. One of the best Prime Ministers ever. Indira ji was an iron lady. The decision she could take, no one else could. Whatever we speak about Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, WhatsApp university idiots, they have got no idea. It is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru because of whom India has a nuclear program. Another web series again on Sony Live only, there is a web series called Rocket Boys, which is the story of the best scientists of the country, Homi Jahangir Baba, Vikram Sarabhai, APJ Abdul Kalam. They were all working together to develop India's nuclear program with the support of Prime Minister Nehru. India has AIMS, IITs, IIMs because of Prime Minister Nehru. In fact, Prime Minister Nehru was Prime Minister from 1947 to 1964, 17 years, and he vacated the post of Prime Minister only because he died. And it was a natural death. Indira ji, Rajiv ji were assassinated, but Nehru ji's death was a natural death. He was so powerful that he was made to vacate that place only because of death. Had it not been death, he would have probably been Prime Minister longer. But that does not mean that Arjun Tendulkar should open the innings for India. Arey, Rajiv ji was a great leader, so Arjun Tendulkar should open innings for him. I have not commented on any current political leader. I am only praising Rajiv ji, one of the best prime ministers ever. Believe me. Believe me. No, don't explain it to each other. If you need explanation, that means you don't understand things. Of Arjun Tendulkar. After the recording stops, we'll discuss all the names. So I don't know whether Nehruji ever made this promise. Current government is only saying that Nehruji made this promise. We don't know whether he actually did. But under this law, yes, ladies and gentlemen, non-Muslims of neighboring countries will be allowed to become, welcomed to become citizens of India is one more way in which this is going to take place. Plus, government is also proposing something called National Register of Citizens. So you have to prove that historically, ancestrally, you were always in India. Just you having Aadhaar card. What is happening? I'm telling you. For example, my in-laws, they stay in Kolkata, West Bengal. And believe me, it is like literally West Bengal. Because that way, if you see, it comes on the eastern side of India. Then why do they call it West Bengal? Because West Bengal is in India for very little time. It's a matter of time West Bengal will be a part of Bangladesh. So Bangladesh mein it will be West only. My father-in-law tells me, he often shares all the stories because in his house no one listens to him, also me also. So he shares all these stories with me. He says that proper Kolkata city, we still have Indians. Outside Kolkata, West Bengal has 80-90%, maybe 100% illegal Bangladeshi immigrants. All of them have taken Aadhaar card, etc. This is how people vote for Mamata Banerjee. Have you ever seen her speaking publicly? Have you ever, you Google Mamata Banerjee speech? Abba dabba chabba. Okay, I'll explain how it works. In one line, she does not need to dress up for Halloween. 2D, bro. She does not need to dress up for Halloween. How does she win? Because these illegal Bangladeshi immigrants are voting for her. So we now want to make, even if you have Aadhaar card, because she has issued Aadhaar card to everyone, the local centers are under her control. Even if you have Aadhaar card, what we want you to prove is that 50 years ago also your family was in India. You were always in India, where you used to stay, prove with some documents. Kagas dikhao, kagas dikhao. That is NRC. So yes, controversial, political, but one of the ways in which we will be granting citizenship. These are the various ways in which you can become citizen of. Now I know your reaction is, Sir, I have become citizen. Now, if you are going outside for earning to 60, 63, 65, we are doing CA. In that we are in CA Inter. I have to come chronologically. In that we are doing direct tax. No, tax. In tax we are doing. In direct tax we are in chapter number 2, residential status. Taxpayer will be divided into resident, non-resident. Second part, Indian income, foreign income later. In that we are doing individual. In that we are doing step 1. In step 1 we are done with first condition 182 days or more. In that we are doing second condition 60 and last 4 years 365, 63, 65. But 63, 65 not applicable, means you will become resident only after 182 days. If you are, one is this, there is one more coming up. By the way, this A is not over. The crew member ka explanation is still remaining. But 63, 65 not applicable if you are citizen of India going outside for earning. So earn and bring the foreign money here. And therefore, we want you to stay a little longer. Spend your money. And don't worry, we will not make you resident after 60 days. We will make you resident only after you cross 182 days. Understood ke nahi? Chalo. Now, what did they bring with respect to crew member in 2015? You understood the exception till now, bringing foreign money, citizen going outside for earning. Now, what are these crew members? See, whenever a foreign bound ship is going for an outbound journey, so you will need captain of the ship and you will need some crew members to take care of the onboard passengers. You can't be like, sir, I know how to drive, so the steering looks same, I will also. No. There will be captain and crew members. Are they going outside for their job purpose only? So for them, there was a circular which said for crew member. Means this circular is applicable only to the last line, crew member of intention. For crew member, the CDC period, CDC stands for continuous discharge certificate. The CDC period shall be excluded from your stay in India. For the crew member, the CDC period shall be excluded from your stay in India. Shall I go to the next point? No. So what do you want? Of this, no. Because everything else we are understanding. Simple English statement. This period will be excluded. Sir, but what is this? What is this thing called CDC? This came in 2015. And bro, I was as blank as you. CDC? I had heard CBC blood test. Okay. CDC? Sir, what is this? I was shocked. And under this statement they wrote, the concept of CDC has been defined in a law called Merchant Shipping Act. So this is not defined here. This is defined where? Merchant Shipping Act. If we want to know the meaning of CDC, we have to actually go and read Merchant Shipping. And don't worry, I have read it. And not today, in 2015 when it came first time. I went and read Merchant Shipping. The role or job of a tax teacher is not to come to class and for 4 hours talk, entertain people, educate people, and go home and go off to sleep. We have more homework than any other teacher. Every time there is a slight change in law, we have to first read, then understand, then create questions. Okay, what if this, what if that? Then create problem solving related questions. Create examples. Practice that on a blank paper. I actually, whenever an amendment comes, I take my notepad like this and write it, because I know that when I'm going and teaching in class, I don't have to make you open books. If I am going to refer to books while explaining, that means I don't know the law. Then how do I expect you to know the law? The entire law has to be copied here. And therefore, every time a new thing comes, I do this homework. Write it by myself on a blank piece of paper. Whatever be your sincerity, I am very sincere when it comes to my homework. I read Merchant Shipping Act in 2015 itself. And the Merchant Shipping Act has given something like this. What is the meaning of CDC period? CDC stands for continuous discharge of services without taking any holiday, without taking any leave. See, normally, if you work for any organization in the same city, so we do have the culture of weekly off, one holiday per week, not applicable to CA students. Just in case you are living in Oxford, so we will get Sunday off. No, you will not. When I was your age, I also never got Sunday holidays. Matlab classroom students, my lectures will not take place on Sundays. I don't work on Sundays. Sunday is only for religious and spiritual and social work. Because Monday to Friday, I focus only on work, full day work. Saturday, half day work. Because Saturday, the other half is, for all the adult stuff. So all the sins committed on Saturday evening are washed by doing religious stuff on Sundays to maintain the balance of the universe. So Saturday evenings are dedicated to friends. Sunday half day is for religious and social work. Other half is for family. I have divided my work or my week in a way that I don't disappoint anyone. But I did not have this freedom as a student. As a student, I had to go to class every time the class scheduled. You will get this freedom, become a CA very fast, as soon as possible. If you are sitting on those hard wooden benches, by the way, our classrooms are still very, very comfortable compared to you go to any of the neighboring buildings. Those benches are of hard wood, and when you sit on those wooden benches for 8 hours, when you get up in the evening, no, just touch how hot that bench will be. Just touch the wood. Ekdam warm bench. Because you sat there for 8 hours. But our benches are cushioned to give you the comfort. The thickness of the bench is also good enough that you get your back support against the against the bench behind you. And believe me, when we were students, it was not the case. For example, if this bench has a capacity of 4 students, as students, we used to be at least 6 to 7 people adjusting in this machine. No place to keep our bags. Some people used to keep bags on the walkway. Some people used to keep their bags outside the classroom. No place to sit. We used to like sit literally like cockroaches, one above the other. You are still having lots and lots of comfort, I must tell you. Okay. So you all don't have the luxury of weekly off, but I do. But when I used to go to outstation assignments, for example, I used to take lectures for 15-16 days continuously. I used to stay in Ahmedabad. Kerala mein to rule was very clear and very clear. 15 days, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. CA final direct tax का full batch. Abhi now just imagine if I am 15 days already away from home. In that, if I start taking weekly off, that will increase my trip duration, number of days away from home, additional hotel cost of those extra weekly off days. And what will I do with that weekly off? Who do I have there? See, here we need weekly off because we need to go out somewhere with family. There, go out with whom? Abhi, here to chalo, I share cordial relations with neighbors also, but there they were hotel rooms. So what do you think that whoever is in the next room, go and tell her that are you free during the weekend? Chalo, I'll take a weekly off. Bro, she also won't come alone, no? What will I tell her? Leave your husband at the hotel. Arey bro, what sense it makes? Those 15 days also, very sad life, because morning ka breakfast class people used to bring to the class premises only. Lunch also, I had this fixed place from where they used to bring. But 7 p.m. lectures get over, so dinner I had to take outside. Sitting and eating alone at a restaurant is the boldest and the bravest thing one can do in life. Like literally you are sitting, so you can't order more than one thing because no matter how I look, I eat limited only. You can't try lot of stuff before because you're alone. And all the families at the other tables are staring at you. What a sad life. Coming alone. You don't have any friends or family. How do I tell them I am not from this city? They are only giving me looks, not talking to me. And in that, just imagine increasing your number of days because I want. What do I do with the weekly off? Sleep in the hotel? No, rather take extra lectures and finish the syllabus. See, when I was newly married, I still used to miss house. After a few years of marriage, there was no such feeling. I, in fact, wanted to spend more time away from home. Of course, after becoming a father, I decided that I have actually stopped all outstation work completely altogether. I said at least for 5-6 years I will not go because this is the growing phase of my son, and after a couple of years he only will not have time for me. But at this time I have to be with him. ऐसा नहीं कि he has vacation of 15 days and 15 days I am not here only. Now that he is going to turn very soon, I will maybe resume if I get some good opportunity. May or may not be Edapalli, can be Palarivattam also, can be anywhere. I get a lot of phone calls from down south, specifically Chennai and Kochi, to resume lectures because the largest organization owners over there in both these cities know this for a fact that their local audience requires lectures in English from some North Indian faculty because their local faculties do not know the subject. And normal North Indian faculties do not know the English language. So with this, there is, there are a huge number of opportunities waiting, but I am waiting for the correct time when I am going to resume that work. We don't believe in weekly offs in such assignments. When I am here working locally, yes, I can take one weekly off, but outstation assignments, it does not make sense. Now imagine a crew member who has gone along with a ship in an outgoing journey or outbound journey. Obviously, the ship is going to go for at least 1 month, 2 months. It's a cruise ship. It can be any kind of ship. The planned journey is, say, we are planning. Example, I tell you. Our plan is that we will leave India on 1st of April and we will return on 31st of May. So obviously, can I say for this much time our crew members will be on the ship? So we have to sign with you a contract that 2 months you will not get any weekly off. Just imagine in the middle of the sea, the crew member is coming and saying, sir, I miss mom. I want to go home. Arre? Now arrange a private helicopter. Lol. Arre, do you have the brain to understand that for those 2 months we can't be sending you home? CDC is an agreement between the crew member and the employer company that for 2 months you are not allowed to say I miss home, I miss mom. That is CDC. A contract for giving continuous services. Now, what is the planned beginning of the journey? 1st April. And the planned end of the journey? So, when we make the CDC with our employee, are we doing a contract? That for this much time you are not allowed to take holiday? Obviously, the CDC has to start on the day when we plan to start our journey. Because journey ka start and CDC ka start will always be same. Our journey will always start on the planned day. But this is not in our control. You need to understand this. We are dealing with water bodies here. In case of non-cooperating waters, we will have to take a pause somewhere. Air turbulence also, if you observe, no, so the pilots tell you that you have to wear your seatbelt and stay seated unless and until we are out of this turbulence. Water bodies, we will have to take a pause. We can't be fighting with the water bodies. So sometimes ships are delayed. Sometimes they come on time also. Sometimes they come before time. You've seen the Bollywood movie Rustam? What happens when a ship comes before time? No, oh, tere sang yaara. No idea? No problem. Akshay Kumar. Google. But most likely is that the ship is going to come late. Now, what will happen? Our plan is this. If we make CDC of this much and by chance there is delay, so on 31st May, employee can say, sir, now I want to go home. Now arrange a helicopter for me. And therefore, the norm in merchant shipping is that if our planned return date is 31st May, we will end our CDC maybe on 15th June. We will keep some safety margin in our CDC. We plan to come back 31st May, but we do the contract till 15th June. You can't ask for holiday. That much safety margin we will keep. Is that clear? So this is our plan. This is our agreement. And now our journey started. Our actual journey started on 1st April. As per plan, as per CDC. As per plan, we have to come back 31st May. For safety, we have done extra CDC of 15 days. And our ship actually returns on 10th of June. No problem. We are late, but our CDC will take care. That the employee cannot insist on a private helicopter after 31st. We have done agreement till 15th June and we have returned on 10th June. Now, do you realize that therefore 1st April to 10th June, so you will be counted as outside India because you were not in India, not in India, not in India. Everyone is clear? Focus on this period, please. 11th June to 15th June. Has the ship come back? Are you in India? Yes. Are you in India, in India, in India, in India, in India? Yes. But is the CDC going on? So therefore, these days will also be excluded from stay in India. If CDC is going on, then these days will also be excluded from your stay in India. Now read the line. For a crew member, the CDC period shall be excluded from stay in India. For crew member, CDC period will be excluded from stay in India. Understood, everyone? Now, how did ICAI ask this question? They gave data of a crew member, similar data, planned date, CDC period and actual date. CDC का start date and journey start date will always be same. End date was like this only. CDC will end when? 15 June. Journey ended when? 10 June. Means between 10th and 15th, where were you? In India, but we will count this as outside India. Correct? Means these 5 days, 11 to 15, we have to include or exclude? Now I'll tell you what. If you include these 5 days, as per stay in India, the total period was coming to 186 days. If you include 11 to 15 in India, the answer in that question was coming to 186. So you become resident, but your answer is wrong because you don't have to include those 5 days. These 5 days you have to exclude. So your actual stay in India will be counted as 181 days. 181. That means condition 1 is satisfied. Then the question is also given last 4 years ka stay in India was 400 days. But not applicable. The answer was non-resident. 5 days have to be excluded. So the stay counted will be 181. And once it is 181, then 6365 is not applicable. Final answer, non-resident. Means this question tested you on how many things? 1. Do you know 182 ka condition? 2. Do you know 6365 ka condition? 3. Do you know that citizen who is crew member, this is not applicable? Do you know that while it is not applicable, but 182 is applicable? But in including that 182 also, CDC period has to be excluded. And the numbers were so close. If you add CDC period, it will be 186. But if you remove, which you have to, the answer will be 181 and 6365 not applicable. Therefore, final answer was non-resident. Number of twists. But yes, however they twist the question, nothing can come from beyond what we are learning. The whole question is, whatever we have studied in class, are you able to apply that knowledge? Because learning in class, going through the PDF, taking down the notes is one activity. And when it is converted into questions and solving those questions by yourself is another activity. You understood or no? Ladies and gentlemen, this finally completes individual. First exception of 6365. मेरे को चक्कर. Okay, wait. If I now do B, so which B? Second exception where 6365 is. So for individual, condition 1 to become resident, 182 days. Condition 2 to become resident, 60 days, and last 4 years, 365 days. But first person to whom 6365 not applicable. Citizen of India, living in India, going outside for earning employment or crew member. Second, citizen of India. Now do you already know the meaning? Or PIO, that is person of Indian origin. PIO, citizen of India or a person of Indian origin who is living abroad. Where are you living? Abroad. And you are coming to India. Most welcome. Most welcome. Again, there is a Sanskrit proverb, Atithi Devo Bhava. Guest is equivalent to God. Most welcome, but only and only if you are coming as a guest, as for the purpose of visit. If you are coming to settle back, so 6365 is applicable. Whom are we going to grant immunity from 6365? Those who are coming for visit. If you are coming for settlement in India, that means you are not coming for visit. So 6365 will apply. Matlab, let us talk about these relatives of mine. Citizen of India or person of Indian origin, are they living abroad? If they come only for visit. They have not come for settlement. They come here for few days and they go back. To 63, 65 not applicable. By chance they come back to settle permanently, then 63, 65 will be applicable. If you are coming for settlement, so 63, 65 is applicable. But if you are coming for visit, so 63, 65 not applicable. Sir, why? Sir, what is the logic? Because nothing is bigger than logic. Nothing is bigger than logic. Sir, why? Let's understand. You are staying abroad. Your livelihood is there. You are earning there. See, if you have understood the logic of the first point, same logic. You are earning there. You have come for visit. Means you will come here, stay for a few days and spend your foreign money here. Means earn outside, spend here. Earn outside, spend here. Was the case 1 and is also the case 2. But listen, if you are going to permanently settle here, then you will seek livelihood also. Then you will start earning from this land. Such people we don't want to grant any immunity. Only those who come for visit. We want you to spend more and more time, consume more and more things, and our government will get money on your consumption. And by the way, the sellers in India who are selling you the goods and services will also pay income tax. So we can grant you immunity on your foreign income. We will not make you resident. At least 60 days pay we will not make you resident. We will make you resident only after 182, 63, 65 not applicable. Logic still remains the same. See, you have earned a lot of foreign money. You are coming for a visit. So you are spending money. 30, 40 days, 50 days you spend. The government is getting that money that you are spending, government is getting. 50 days, 55 days. Now you want to leave because the moment you touch 60 and become resident, then your foreign income will become taxable. But government says, don't go no, bro. That same thing. Kya? Abhi na jao chhodkar. Bill. Stay a little longer. Spend more of your foreign money. And 63, 65 not applicable. Understood? Citizen of India going outside for earning, or citizen or PIO coming for so 63, 65 not applicable. Is that clear? Citizen ka meaning you already know. Achha, point is done. Point ka logic is done. But detailed explanation, like we did citizen ka explanation here, crew member ka explanation, that part is still remaining. Citizen ka meaning you already know. With the grace of God, nahi, with I did it. Citizen ka meaning. Sir, what do you mean by person of Indian origin? Because this exception is given to both. Supposingly you want to decide whether Mr. X is person of Indian origin. Is Mr. X person of Indian origin? So you will have to go and check the following people. Mr. X will have parents. Parents are two, father and mother. Check Mr. X ka parents and check English. Both sets of grandparents. Both sets of grandparents means you will have to check grandparents, father's side. This is G, grandfather. Arey, grandfather. CA students, that's the only GF possible in your life. Grandfather. And okay, the only BF also is breakfast possible in your life. Because lunch ka also you don't get time. I start before lunch time. So the only BF in your life is breakfast. Okay. So abhi main kya karu? What do I do? Why are you giving? I arrange all this also for you. I have no other job to do. Giving me reactions and looks. Arey, you manage yourself. I also manage in my college days. So don't remind me of that. Both sets of grandparents. English is a very funny language. There is shortage of words. You know, your father's brother is also uncle. Mother's brother is also uncle. Father's sister's husband is uncle. Mother's sister's husband. Anybody walking on the road is uncle. There is acute shortage of words. Some time back I told you, you want to abuse someone also, you hardly get one word here and there. Same old word, tried, tested, used multiple times, used. Sick and tired of that one word. For abusing also varieties in Hindi and better musical varieties in Marathi. Mentally trying it. Happy? And when there is shortage, so they end up saying paternal grandparents matter. So for a moment, if I may call these relations in Hindi we call them Dada, Dadi, Nana and Nani. Hindi may we call them that. Of course, Daddy, Mummy. That is English or Hindi that you decide. What are parents called in Hindi? Father, mother? Ma Baap. By the way, just to let you know, Ma Baap are Urdu words. In Hindi, they are known as Mata Pita. You don't abuse. In Hindi, they are known as Mata Pita. Many a time sometimes students raise an objection, sir, okay, sir, thoda to Hindi use karo, etc. But the point is that if there is any student who claims before me that you actually know Hindi, it is an open challenge. I will prove it to you that you don't. You don't even want to have that debate with me, right? If you claim that you know Hindi, I will prove it wrong. It's a matter of 2-3 minutes in which I will prove you wrong. I will give you 15 words in English. You translate them in Hindi. And out of 15, if 10 plus are correct, so I admit that you know Hindi. You will not get more than 2 or 3 correct. Challenge. Karna hai. Wait back after class when you are having your food at that time. Open challenge to anyone who claims that he or she knows Hindi. I will prove it to you. You don't. नहीं तो without challenge I'm free थोड़ी बैठूंगा. I am a very expensive professor. Hey, ये बोलना चले. I'll try. So you want to decide whether Mr. X is PIO or no? You are checking parents 2 and grandparents 4 because both sides. So totally how many people? 6, 9, 7, including Mr. X. Out of these 7 people, with 7, self 1, 2 parents and 4 grandparents. Totally 7. Self, 2 parents and 4 grandparents. Out of these 7 people, if anyone also born in undivided India. Out of these 7 people, if anyone was born in undivided India. Sir, undivided India means present day India plus Pakistan, Bangladesh before 1947. For example, Dr. Manmohan Singh, India's best finance minister of independent India's history, also coincidentally the worst. Too obvious. Born in Lahore, present day Pakistan. But that is undivided India. When he was born before partition. He was born before independence. So, anyone born in undivided India. Are you understanding this? I was once teaching one CA inter batch. My lecture started at 1 o'clock. It was 1 to 8:30, 1 to 9 was my lecture. Full day I was only taking. About 7.5 hours of theory. Already frustrated. But by the way, there are so many students who are frustrated even at 1 o'clock. You can't do anything with them. But after 7 hours, they were so frustrated. At about 7:45, I completed the theory. Then they were thinking that, Acha sir, now, tomorrow. No, I said, abhi 15 minutes are still remaining. I will do questions. So the frustrated students had more frustration. Then one of the students started reading the question. Question was somewhat like this. X was born in Germany in 1985. His father was born in Spain in 1960. Reasonable gap, 25 years. Bro, I can't take father in 1960 and X in 1965. Mother was born in Italy, 1962. Still a reasonable gap, 23 years between mother and child. His grandfather was born in Russia, 1940. Again, reasonable, no? Grandfather was 20 years old when father was born. Those days it was very much possible. My grandfather became father at the age of 17 or 18. My grandmother became mother at the age of 16, 17. At 45, I was born. When my grandmother was 45 years old, I was born. My grandmother is only 45 years older than me. She's 82 years old right now. Bro, at 17, she was a mother. Bro, look at yourself, what you are doing in life. At your age, she had 3 kids, those who are graduates. No, I am telling you, at your age, my grandmother had 3 kids. And expecting the 4th. Bro, some at this age have only 3 attempts and giving the 4th. Welcome to CA. So 20 years ka gap is reasonable. That era, 1940 grandfather, 1960 father, 1962 mother, 1985 son. While I was going to grandmother, the next line, suddenly that over frustrated last bench ka boy got up. Sir, kya hai ye? Sir, how did they manage? Arey, that is not your problem. They must have managed somehow. That is not your problem. They must have managed somehow, some way. Grandmother was born in Dhaka. Dhaka, 1942. So first of all, you need to have little geographical knowledge also that Dhaka is in Bangladesh. And in 1942, it was in India. So that means grandmother was born in undivided India. So Mr. X is person of Indian origin. Because out of 7 people, anyone also born in undivided India. Out of 7 people, if anyone is also born in undivided India, so person of Indian origin. Is that clear? Sir, Mr. X is PIO does not mean his mother is PIO. Because this grandmother was born in Dhaka. So yes, Mr. X ke liye, it is grandmother, X becomes PIO. For the father also, she is mother, no? So okay, he also is PIO. But grandfather need not be PIO. These people need not be PIO. You have to check that for every individual. For example, if you want to know whether this mother is PIO, you have to keep the mother here and check her parents and grandparents. You have to do the checking for every individual. It is possible that father is PIO but mother is not. It is possible. Okay. So you will have to do the checking for every individual citizen or PIO who is living abroad and coming to India, not for settlement but for a visit. So 63, 65 not applicable. You will become resident only after 182 days. ये clear है? Before auntie became finance minister. Before auntie, tai, akka, chechi became finance minister. Step 1 used to get over here. Means there was no third condition. I have told you how many conditions. Hello. Step 1, 3 conditions. There was no third condition. So third condition she introduced. And this second exception, also she brought some changes, some amendments, some modification in the 2020 budget. So this used to get over before 2020 and we were in step number 2. But now it is not getting over. Last 4 years. I have some more explanation left in this second exception. And plus last 4 years, we also have the third condition. So we are still far from done with step 1 also. I had told you at the beginning of the lecture. कि इंडिविजुअल का भी we will not be able to complete today. Experience है bro. I look 14 years old but I am teaching since 14 years. Experience. हाँ, तो in 2020 का बजट, while the world was thinking of how to fight this new thing called COVID, because COVID was already there. China में it was there, Italy में it was there. Some of the countries where people from China had gone back to their home countries, you already had COVID. World was trying to fight that COVID. Auntie was bringing amendments. In my career, I have spent 18 years in taxation. First, about 4 years as a student. Next, about 14 years as a teacher, little over 14 years. So, 1 year was common. I told you, I was teaching as well as studying. But I have spent 18 years in taxation. Somewhere in 2006-7, I studied tax first time in my life. And in 18 years, basically, your age is when the year roughly where you were born is roughly the time when I studied tax for the first time. Your age is me divided by 2. My age is you into 2. Your age is my experience. And in 18 years, this was the first and the only time where there was an amendment in residential status. Never before, never after. Auntie, when the world is thinking about COVID, Auntie was bringing amendments. She amended residential status. So we have some more explanation of this point B. And we have the third condition. So till now it is not over. Not yet over. This Auntie era in income tax law will be forever remembered. For what reason? Then moving forward, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, when new kids will come and learn the taxation law. So in every chapter, every section, we will have at least something. This was brought by Auntie. This was brought by Auntie. She wants to create that atmosphere that everywhere there is some stamp of her name. Whether it is sensible, logical, illogical, all that does not matter. Whether people understand, people don't understand. Most of the things that she has written in the law, after writing, maybe she also does not. What exactly? Like literally there is a meme floating on social media. Law ऐसा बनाओ, 4 लोग बोले, क्या लिखती है? Like literally you don't understand what she has written. Not a single word you will understand. You don't know. Arey, you are going to murder her right now. There was this Bollywood movie 2006, Rang De Basanti, Amir Khan's movie. The storyline goes like this, that Amir Khan and his group of college friends had one friend who is an Air Force pilot. South ka superstar R. Madhavan was playing the role of that pilot. He is a superstar in Tamil movies also, R. Madhavan. Maddie we call him. So he was playing the role of that pilot. The Defense Minister of India indulged in some corruption. He purchased lesser quality parts for that MiG aircraft, and this friend pilot dies in that air crash. So these college going friends who are now missing their Air Force pilot friend, they go to Delhi and they kill the defense minister, they kill. Now everyone is like praising the defense minister. Oh my God, some terrorists have killed him, etc. So these guys started thinking, we have killed them to take revenge for our friend. And now he is becoming the hero. So they go to a radio station. They capture the radio station with guns and publicly announce on radio that we killed him because he purchased poor quality parts by keeping some money margin for himself, which is why our friend died. So we killed him. Please don't consider him as Shaheed. Then of course, the police come, they attack the radio station and they kill all of them. That's the end of the story. If ever a sequel to Rang De Basanti is made, and this time we have to kill the finance minister, I will take one for the team. and I will openly tell, I have done this. I will surrender my, bro, you will have to put my statues in all ICAI buildings. So auntie has brought amendments and the step number 1 is far, far, far away from over. But what have we studied so far? Step number 1, an individual will become resident if he fulfills any of the following conditions. Condition 1, 182 days or more during the previous year. Condition 2, 60 days during this year and 365 during. ये correct है. However, 63, 65 not applicable to case 1. Citizen of India living in India going outside for earning. Case 2. Citizen of India or person of Indian origin living outside coming on a visit. ये correct है. But now auntie identified a problem in this second condition. In this second condition, that is you are a citizen or PIO who is coming for a visit. Please understand the logic first. There are two benchmarks of making you resident. One is at 60, one is at 182. ये correct है? 60 is too early. If we make you resident at 60, so you will go away somewhere here. Then we will not get more of your money which you are spending here. But at the same time, if we remove 60, which we have done no for visitors, have we removed 60? That means the visitors will become resident only after. That means your foreign income will become taxable only after. Auntie said this is too late. 60 is too early. And 182 is too late. ये logic है. 60 is too early. So yes, not applicable. But 182 is too late. So for some people, we will keep one in between period. And auntie brought a condition stating that if your income is greater than Modi ji's favorite figure, 15 lakh. You don't know the history of 15 lakh? No? We'll keep a lecture on this. But in the law, they have written 15 lakh. If your income exceeds 15 lakh, sir, which income? First, understand the definition of this income. Any income that you earn in India while you are a visitor. But my question is, can you have some income in India? I'll tell you what, supposingly you never come to India, never even for a visit, you can still have income in India in the form of rent of your properties, dividend from Indian companies. If you have Indian bank accounts, so their interest. You can have any income being generated in India without coming to India also. Take that income. Any income where the source is in, and add to it any income which you are earning outside India. Add to it what? From a business that is being controlled from. Business के लिए we use the word control from, or if it is profession, so we say set up in. Business controlled from or profession set up in India. Foreign income having Indian effect, impact, control. Example I have discussed in today's lecture this example. You are getting salary from foreign branch of Indian company. Think about it. Is this foreign income? But is it being controlled from India? So we will consider this. Then in India, which income you will take? Everything, all incomes. Which income in India? All. Which incomes in India? All incomes in India. Which incomes? All income. But foreign which income you will take? Only those which are being controlled from India. That means, what are we excluding? Foreign ka local incomes. Think about it. If I am earning rent from foreign property, so it is not coming in this or this. if I am earning interest from foreign bank account or dividend from foreign company ka shares, so it is not coming in this. Foreign local sources I don't have to take. Any relation connection with India, anything in India, we take everything. And outside India ka those income which are controlled from India, we take these incomes. And if the total exceeds 15 lakh, so we want tax. Acha, by the way, this income we can always tax, even for non-resident. Supposingly we don't make you resident, no, we don't keep any condition, 60, 182, nothing. What will you become? Non-resident. Still it is taxable because Indian income is taxable for everything. But for taxing this income, because this is foreign income, we have to make you a resident. If we don't make you a resident, then we will not be able to tax this income. Acha, by the way, is the government right in expecting tax from this income? Yes, because there is some Indian connection involved. So we want tax on that income. But if you become non-resident, we will not get. We will get tax on that income only if we make you resident. For making you resident, you have come to India on visit. So 60 is not applicable. Agreed, no problem. 60 was too early. But if you wait till 182, so most of these people will go away before 182. This income we will still get tax. Are you clear why? Because Indian income is taxable for everyone, even for non-resident. But this income we will not get tax. So how to find out an in-between area if your income exceeds 15 lakh? So the 6365. Remember 60 in the current year plus 365 in the last 4 years, which we had removed from you because you were the exception. You are a visitor. Will return in a slightly modified way. It will not be 60 and 365. Did I tell you 60 is too early? Therefore, we are removing it. But 182 is too late. So, we will change it to an in-between condition. 182 days in the previous year and 365 days in the last 4 years. So, 60, 365 will become 120, 365. First condition was current year 182. Second condition was current year 60, last 4 years 365. But that 60 is not applicable if you are citizen going for earning or citizen or PIO coming for visit. But when you come for visit, while 60, 365 is not applicable. When you come for visit, 60, 365 is not applicable. But if your income exceeds 15 lakh, so it will become applicable. Wait. Two things I have said. Income exceeding 15 lakh, so condition will become applicable. When we say income, focus which income will be included in this 15 lakh. All Indian incomes, irrespective of nature, and foreign income only if controlled from India. And second, when we say condition will become applicable again, it won't be applicable as it is. Modified version. 63, 65 will change to 120 and 365. So normally 63, 65 not applicable to visitors. But modified 63, 65, that is 123, 65, applicable to visitors, but not all visitors. Which visitors? Where income exceeds 15 lakh. Sir, what will you consider in this 15 lakh? All Indian incomes and foreign incomes is controlled from India. Supposingly, you have Indian rental income of 8 lakh. Foreign salary income of 5 lakhs. And foreign bank account interest of 4 lakh. So that is 17 lakh, no? So we will consider 123, 65, yes or no? I repeat my example. Indian rental income 8 lakh. Foreign branch ka salary, this salary, controlled from India, 5 lakh. And foreign bank account interest 4 lakh. So will we consider this 17 as greater than 15? No, because this income not to be counted. Foreign local income not to be counted. And otherwise the income is coming to 13. Without counting it is coming to, supposingly this was 10. Still no, because it has to be greater. And now supposingly this is 6. So now we will apply 123, the total of these two should be greater, equal to 9, should be greater than 15 lakh, then you will have 120, 365 becoming applicable. So if your income exceeds 15 lakh, you are a visitor, and your income exceeds 15 lakh. Sir, which income should exceed 15 lakh? All Indian incomes and foreign incomes if business controlled or profession set up in India. Foreign local incomes will not be considered. And the two which you are considering also total should exceed 15 lakh. So we will bring back your condition, but not as it is modified. 120 days in the previous year and 365 days in the last 4 years. So let's understand what is happening. If you touch 182, you don't have to check anything else. Your question is over. If you don't touch 182, so you go and check 60 and last 4 years 365. If it is a citizen going for earning, then don't check 60, 365. If it is a citizen or PIO coming for visit, then also don't check 60, 365. Otherwise, for everyone else, you will check. However, if it is a visitor, citizen or PIO coming for visit, and income exceeds 15 lakh, this income will include all Indian incomes and foreign if controlled from India. So then you will check not 182, not 60, 365, but 120 and 365. 60 is too early to make you a resident, because we want you to spend your foreign money, so stay for some more time. But at the same time, 182 will be too late. So in between 60 and 182, they have found a midway route. Kya? 120 in the current year and 365 days in the last 4 years. 120 in the current year, 365 days in the last 4 years. Everyone is clear on this? Fantastic. So condition 1, 182 days. Condition 2, 60 and 365 days. Two cases it is not applicable, but visitor, citizen going outside for earning, and citizen or PIO coming for visit. Ye clear hai? But when it is applicable to visitors, when income exceeds 15 lakh, it will not be applicable as it is. It will be applicable by modified version of 120 and 365. Is that clear? Sir, don't you think you need some rest? No. Sir, don't you think we need some rest? Okay, take a deep breath. Chalo, break over. So yesterday I gave you break without asking. I will give you break if I am tired. So question number. Sir, you definitely need a break. Condition number 3. Of what? Sir, होगा? Of what? Individual. Residential status of individual, step number 1. अरे हाँ. Step 1 is resident, non-resident. Step 2 is ROR, RNOR. We are not yet into step 2. We are still in step number 1. In step number 1, what are we doing? Residential status of individual. Deciding whether resident or non-resident. We have been given 3 conditions. Out of 3, if we fulfill any one, so we will be considered as resident. Therefore, to become non-resident, we have to dissatisfy all the 3. This third condition was brought with this amendment. So can you see this 15 lakh amendment, where visitors who were immune suddenly became residents, not because of 60 but because of 120. Along with that condition of 120 means when 120 came, at that time only this third condition came. Both amendments came in the 2020 ka budget. World was fighting COVID, auntie was bringing amendments. So third point. In fact, I must tell you the history of the third point before actually telling you the third point. That when this point came, there was chaos, shock amongst Indians living abroad. They were in a state of shock. Just imagine, 10 years ago you have left India. You have decided that you will never come back to India. You are very, very happy, peacefully settled in whichever country you are. Whatever you are earning now, you are earning in that country only. You have got nothing to do with India now. Of course, since 10 years, if you have not come to India, so by default, you have become non-resident. Not a single day you have spent in India last 10 years. And all your incomes are also foreign incomes. Some people showed you the songs. Dil wale dulhaniya le jayenge, ghar aaja pardesi tera desh. You said, no, I don't want to come. You are sure that you will never come back to India. So all your incomes are local foreign incomes. What if I now tell you that those local foreign incomes will now be taxable in India? Last 10 years, I have never come to India. In fact, last 10 years, I am earning foreign income and never paying tax in India. I am peacefully settled there. Suddenly, on those incomes only, no, India, so I am not coming only. On those foreign incomes, I have to pay tax in India. Huh? Shocked? And just imagine, you are shocked only by listening. Those who had to pay, imagine their condition. They had to pay it. Imagine their condition. In fact, Indians living in Dubai went and approached Dubai ka sheikh because see, 10 years I have spent in Dubai. I have got nothing to do with India now. My leader is Dubai ka sheikh. They request, actually believe me, when they requested, Dubai ka sheikh called Modi ji. And he was like literally asking, what are you doing? Have you lost your brain? This is not acceptable. And if you do this, next time, when you come and give me a hug, Modi ji has this habit. Whichever foreign leader he meets, no, he hugs. Very smart. He is very smart. See, you meet Biden, you hug him. You meet Putin, you hug him. You meet whoever, you hug. So one fine day when you hug Miloni publicly, no one will take offense. Because Modi ji by nature is, a very happy-go-lucky guy, friendly guy. Of course, Indian culture hai, so he does not. But one day he saw that Canada ka PM is Justin Trudeau, something like that his name. He hugged Miloni, and that photo became viral on social media. Arey, Canada ka PM is hugging Italy ka PM. That photo was viral, and background mein music was going on. Thukra ke mera pyar, mera intikam. You have not seen that? Stop calling yourself Gen Z. Dubai ka sheikh said, Modi ji, next time you hug me, no, I will hug you so tight, no, there will be bones in your body will be broken. Have you lost your brain? Just imagine somebody who has settled in Dubai 10 years ago, earning in Dubai since the last 10 years, and last 10 years has not paid any tax in India because all the income is foreign income. Suddenly that income will become taxable in India. Have you lost your brain? This concept was introduced by our government in the name of something called a deemed resident. The word deemed in English, students interchangeably use the word assume, presumed to be resident, assumed to be resident. I'm not saying it is wrong. You may use that word. But that word, which is the closest, the most appropriate similar word, is the word considered. Much better than assume, presume. Now use the word considered and think about it. We will consider you means we will deem you to be resident. Or there is one more social media way of explaining this, where in social media you see, you are a resident. तू resident है. तू है. पता नहीं है लेकिन तू है. You've seen that? We are forcing you, deeming you to be a, considering you to be a. Sir, I have not spent a single day in India last 10 years. To hell with it. You are a resident. Pay tax on your world income. Why? If you are a citizen of India, Who are you? And you are not a tax resident in any other country. So you are resident in India. Yeah. Just imagine what happened. Just imagine if you are not a tax resident in any other country. Matlab you are not meeting the residential status of any other country. Every country will have income tax law. If you are not fulfilling the condition, if you are not a resident anywhere, you are resident. Normally, residential status was based on number of days. Now, what exactly are we doing here? If you are not a resident anywhere else, you will be considered as a resident of kya? Now understand the problem, specifically Dubai. Why Dubai ka sheikh had to call, no one else. Supposingly Indians settled in Dubai 10 years ago. So obviously India mein to you are not a resident. And Dubai mein there is no income tax. In a country where there is no income tax, you can never become resident. There is no income tax in Dubai. You can never become resident. That means, are you fulfilling this? Not a tax resident anywhere else. You are living in a tax heaven and therefore you will never become a resident there. Anybody living in a tax heaven can never become a resident because there is no tax. And these people, this is what you have to understand. Even after 10 years, they remain citizens of India. Because UAE, Dubai, they are very, very strict when it comes to granting of citizenship. Indians staying there for 10, 15, 20 years also, Pakistan is also staying there, they will not give you citizenship. Why? See, Dubai says what? Whichever country you belong to, most welcome in our country. Very safe country. Make as much money as you want. No personal income tax. Don't pay any tax. After making money, you want to take away the money back home. No problem. Most welcome. Make money. Don't pay tax. Take away your profits. We are not creating any trouble for you. But don't ask for citizenship. Because today, if we grant you citizenship, tomorrow you will ask for voting power. I am the Sheikh of Dubai. I am the owner of Dubai. I will remain the owner. Today, if I grant citizenship, tomorrow you will ask for voting power. Day after, you will ask for political interference. Then you will say conduct elections. Then you will say Sheikh, you get lost. That will never happen. Welcome to our country. Make money in our country. I am not taking any tax. I have enough money. In fact, you make the profits and take the money home. No problem. But do not ask for. Now, why Indians love Dubai? Because you get to make money. Good money. You don't have to pay tax. Easily you can send the money back home. So they are very happy. Even if they are not getting citizenship, no problem. So peacefully they have settled. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago you've gone. But you will remain citizen of India because Dubai will never grant you citizenship. So are you citizen of India? And you will never become a resident in Dubai in taxation because in Dubai there is no tax. So citizen, not a tax resident anywhere. Deemed to be. Just imagine that person who is in Dubai last 10 years is sitting there in Dubai one evening and wondering, I am still a citizen of India and I am not a tax resident of Dubai. That means from today I become resident in India. That means I have to pay tax on foreign income, which is Dubai ka income. For the last 10 years I have not gone to India. Now this I cannot change. See, understand. This I can't go and request the sheikhs to start levying tax on us so that India does not levy. Lol. So this cannot be changed. But all these Indians living in Dubai now went and told the sheikh, sir, please make us Dubai ka citizen. Because if you make us Dubai ka citizen, then our Indian citizenship will get cancelled and we will escape this condition. The only way of escaping the third condition was to become citizen of Dubai. If you remain citizen of India, then you are fulfilling this condition and this condition, both conditions. And therefore, you will be considered as resident here. This condition will be forever fulfilled because Dubai has no plans of bringing tax. But somehow, I want to escape this condition, which is only possible if Dubai ka Sheikh grants me citizenship. So all the Indians represented, Bola sir, last 15-20 years we have stayed here. Have we ever given any trouble? All your rules we follow, all your system culture we follow. We respect the religion over here. We respect everything. Sir, we are your own people. Now we can't go and request Indian government. We have left India so many years ago. They are not going to listen to us. We are your people, sir. Please give us. See, we promise that we will not ask for voting power. We will not ask for elections. You tell us whatever, but just grant us citizenship. Because if you don't grant us citizenship, we will remain citizen of India and be liable to pay tax in India. Dubai ka Sheikh said that is not possible. Then he called Modi ji. Recap. Then he called Modi ji. Bola, Modi ji, what are you doing? Because of you, I have to forcibly give them citizenship. Because I cannot tell them get lost. Today, they are one of the big reasons behind Dubai's economy. I have to make them stay here. And while staying here, if they pay taxes in India, then one by one, they will start leaving this country. I want them to stay here. At the same time, I don't want to give them citizenship. So, sir, the only way out is, Modi ji, this is not fair. How can you expect tax from someone who has not come to your country for last 10 years? You understand what happened in the budget here? Like literally, if you are not a tax resident anywhere else, so what will we do? We will make you a resident in India. Can you believe this? You saw what happened here? Everyone? So then when this Sheikh put so much pressure, so then later an amendment was brought. When? Now listen, this is where that knowledge will help. That budget is not final. While the budget was proposed, already alarm bells were ringing in Dubai. At that time itself the phone call came. And before the budget became the act, during the proposal stage, a third condition was brought, which will grant relief to all these parties who are worried right now. The third condition was, we will apply this deeming rule. What are we doing? You have not come to India on a single day. Can you clearly see that? In fact, not come to India last 10 years. But you still remain Indian citizen. And that country is a tax haven. You are Indian citizen and that country is a tax haven. So are we making you resident with this third condition? Yes, but don't worry. We will do this only and only if your income exceeds 15 lakhs. Sir, which income? Sir, the same income which we have seen for 120 days condition. Means, are we going to check total of your Indian incomes? While last 10 years you have been in Dubai, tell me one thing. Can you still have property rent in India? Because once upon a time you were here, no? Can you still have property rent in India? Come on.
Yes.
Yes. Can you still have dividend income, interest income in India? Yes. So take all your Indian incomes and take your Dubai incomes. But in Dubai, which income we will take? Anything that is being controlled from. So your local business income, your local interest, dividend, that we will not take. Matlab, can I say we are taking the same two incomes? Which two incomes? Tell me one thing. Does government of India have right to tax it even if you are non-resident?
Yes.
And does government of India has some right to tax it because ultimately there is some control from India? Government of India does not have right to tax your local domestic foreign incomes. So we are not even taking those incomes here. We are taking only which incomes? Anything that has Indian connection. Incomes earned in India and foreign income if controlled from India. We are taking only these incomes. Hello?
Yes.
And we will later on tax also these incomes only. This is the difference between ROR and RNOR, which I told you orally. Later when we do scope of total income, it will become very clear. So third condition is what? Third condition has three parts. Citizen. You have not come to India for a single day. Huh? Citizen. Not a resident anywhere else. And income exceeds. When we see this 15 lakh, what will we include in 15 lakh? All Indian incomes. And foreign income if controlled from India. And what will we exclude? The only income that we exclude is foreign, local, domestic source incomes. That we will not include in 15 lakh. Everything else we include greater than 15 lakh. Then in that case, you are deemed to be a resident. While world was fighting COVID, Auntie was finding ways of how to start taxing people who have not come to India for last 10 years. Let's start some recovery of taxes from them also. Literally tax terrorism. Literally. You all have no idea. You all, maybe social media is giving you stupid data, WhatsApp university data and all that. You cut down or control yourself. But yes, this figure is correct that if world chess champion 18-year-old is an Indian and he got 11 crore rupees, he will be paying 42.744% tax. Yes, he will be paying 42.744%. And which is how that somehow that 4.67 crore ka figure is floating on social media. Yes, and after paying this 44.67 crore, he will be left with about 5-6 crore. He will buy some property. He has to pay stamp duty in the registration. Or he will put money in his bank account. Their interest generated will also be taxable on the same money. Other than that, he is buying anything for his own consumption. Bloody hell, he is buying some general knowledge ka stuff, also some practice ka stuff, some mental health ka stuff. Because a game like chess requires a lot of mental health. He will be having GST. He has hired a mental health coach who must be charging him fees. With that fees, he will have to pay GST also to the coach. Bro, when you have a Gujju running the show, believe me, they are very smart in finding new and more ways of making money. They have entrepreneurship in their blood. With this, what are they doing? They want tax from anything and everything. Next time when I make a joke on auntie, don't laugh too hard. You never know, she might probably introduce GST on laughing also. 28%. Happiness tax. Arey, happiness is a luxury, no? Luxury items ka GST is highest, 28%. Is that clear? Ha, so ladies and gentlemen, a citizen of India who is not a tax resident in any other country and his income exceeds. You understood which income we are going to take in 15 lakh? Same as what we are taking under 120. So you will be considered as resident, deemed to be a resident without coming to India for a single day. So first two guys were coming. First was 182. Second was 6365. Some visitors modified to 12365. And these guys without coming to India also will be considered as resident. Therefore, we use the term deemed resident. Is that clear? Finally, chapter over. Harsh. Nash. Scope of total income not yet started. But residential status over. Harsh. Are all three conditions done? Nash. Individual is going on. Sir, individual का residential status over. Harsh. Nash. Step 1 is over. Resident, non-resident. Hello. Now we have step number 2, in which we will divide the individual into ROR, RNOR. RNOR will also pay tax on foreign incomes, but only if controlled from India. So the only difference between them is ROR will pay tax on Indian income, foreign income controlled from India, and foreign domestic income also. RNOR will pay tax on Indian income, foreign income only if controlled from India, only that domestic wala income not taxable. And NR of course will pay tax only on Indian income. If answer to step number 1 is non-resident, there is no step number 2. I hope you know that. And only Indian income will be taxable. Matlab Indian income will be taxable for ROR, RNOR, NR. Foreign income not at all taxable for NR. And for resident, we will see. If controlled from India, then ROR or NOR both will be taxed. If domestic sources, then only ROR will be taxed. But all these things that I am speaking already, in the second part, Indian income, foreign income, who will pay tax, everything that I am speaking, I will be doing in writing. But for now, step number 2, that is ROR or NOR. Here we have been given 2 conditions. And this time they say, satisfy both. So you will be considered as ROR. If you satisfy both, so you will be considered as ROR. That means this time between condition 1 and condition 2, I will use the word and, because they are cumulative conditions, you have to satisfy both conditions. Are you able to understand this? Yes. And also tell me this. Therefore, if I dissatisfy any one of them, so what will I become? R, NOR. And if I dissatisfy both of them, so I will become Rabesh, you still are RNOR. If you are non-resident, you will never do this. Non-resident, you become in step 1. In step 2, you can never become non-resident. If you are doing step 2, that means one thing is clear. Only and only if you are resident. You can never become non-resident here. If you dissatisfy both, still your answer will be R and OR. So satisfy both, ROR. Satisfy only one of them, R and OR. Satisfy none of them, R and OR. Is that clear? Fantastic. What are the 2 conditions? 1. Once again, physical presence. So 60 was physical presence, 182 was physical presence, 365 was physical presence. Next, one more time, physical presence. If you have been in India for a period of 730 days or more, equal to or more than 730 days during English 7 immediately preceding previous years. One more time, please.
7 immediately preceding previous years.
Oh, bro. So we already had 4 years in 365. Now you have to add 3 more years here. So add 3 more years, go in reverse order. 1920, 1819 and correct or no? So from 1/4/17 to 31st March 24, your stay in India has to be a minimum period of 730 years. Your stay in India has to be a minimum period of 730 days. Is that understood? Everyone? And means cumulative, means you have to fulfill last 7 years 730. So understand. First we check current year 182. Then we check current year 60, last 4 years 365. Or current year 120, last 4 years 365. Then for ordinary resident, we see last 7 years ka total stay of 730. All other points are same. Equal to 730 also covered, place in India irrelevant, need not be continuous. Whatever we wrote as notes under 182, no, in today's lecture only. All those notes are common here as well. All those points are common here as well. So nothing changes as far as that is concerned. And the second condition, you have to be a resident in at least, so once again, at least is nothing but greater than equal to only, no? At least 2 out of, again English, 10 immediately preceding previous years. What did they say? 10 means in last 10 years. Last 10 years will not cover 24, 25. Before that, so 4 years we already had in 365. 3 more years we got here for 730. 3 more years, that is 16, 17, 15, 16 and 14, 15. Means 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17 till 23, 24 there are total 10 years. In these 10 years, minimum 2 years, at least 2 years, you have to be a resident. You have to be a resident in at least 2 out of last 10 years. You have to be a resident in at least. Sir, how will we do that? No problem. See, go to 23-24. Is that your last year? Check 182. Check 63-65 if applicable, 123-65 if applicable, or deemed resident if applicable. There are 3 ways in which you can become resident. Check everything, whatever is applicable, just like you check for 24-25. You got the answer, resident. Fantastic. Go to 20-23. None of the conditions of step 1 fulfilled. So your answer is non-resident. 21-22, non-resident. 20-21, non-resident. 19-20, resident. Stop. Done. I want only 2. The moment I get 2, I stop. More than 2, no problem. But I just want out of last 10 years, minimum 2 you have to be. And that also you have to be resident. Huh? We don't have to do ordinary, not ordinary. If you are resident in 2 out of last 10 years. If you are resident in 2 out of last 10 years, then we will consider you as ROR. 730 days in 7 years and 2 out of 10 years, you have to be a resident. Supposingly, this is your 24-25. So, here we check 182. Supposingly fulfilled. Matlab, what are you? Resident. Now, we check. See, 365 is not required, no? Because 60 we are not checking. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 7 years ka total stay in India should be minimum. And then check 3 more years. And out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minimum 2 years, you should be a. So perform step number 1, step number 1, step number 1 in all these 10 years. By the way, you actually don't have to perform for all the 10 years. Perform one by one. The moment you get 2 resident answers, you stop there. You don't need to check for further years. The moment you get 2 answers as resident, condition is fulfilled. Of course, but cumulative. So you have to also do the second thing. Sir, what is the second thing? 730 days in last 7 years. Is that clear? So in order to check whether you are ROR or RNOR, we have 2 extra conditions. What are the 2 extra conditions? 730 days in the last 7 years and resident in minimum 2 out of last 10 years. Resident in minimum 2 out of last 10 years. Is that clearly understood by everyone? However, one last line here. That do you remember the 2 cases that became resident due to income exceeding 15 lakh? By the way, in both those cases, the income that we were checking was also same. Which amounts we were checking for 15 lakh? Any income earned in India and any income earned outside India but controlled from India. So the only thing that we were not including in that 15 lakh was foreign domestic incomes. That was the only thing that we were not including. Bolo, yes or no? Who were those 2 cases? What are those 2 cases? One is that 120 plus 365%. And the second is the deemed resident person. Both of them will be compulsory considered as RNOR. By the way, we are forcibly making you resident. Be clear about that. This second guy, poor guy, has never come to India last 10 years. But are we still forcibly, without logic, making you resident? While we make you resident, no problem. Indian income was still going to be taxable even if you were non-resident. What is the impact of becoming resident? What is the bad news of becoming resident? Why your answer that resident was wrong? Because if you become resident, though, you have to pay tax also on your foreign income, global income. But if you are RNOR, all your foreign income will not be taxable. For RNOR, only which foreign income is taxable? Anything that is controlled from India. And is India within right to take tax on that? So because we know that we are forcibly making you resident, we will at least keep you RNOR. So for you, we will not check 730 days or 2 out of last 10 years. We will keep you RNOR. Ye clear hai? And with this, your foreign domestic incomes will never be taxable in India. Only what will be taxable? All Indian incomes, which is taxable for non-resident also. Foreign incomes if controlled from India. Same incomes we are taking for 15 lakh criteria also, and same income you will be paying tax because it's a forceful residential status. We will keep you as R and OR. So the two people who are becoming resident due to 15 lakh. One is this guy and second is this guy, the deemed resident. Both of them will always be considered as R and OR without checking 730, without checking 2 out of last 10 years. With this, we get done with residential status of. मतलब just understand that in case I do this now, I am not taking your permission. If you say no, then I will do it even if I am not going. I am not so friendly. So I will do if I have to. But I am still asking you, in case I do this, you will have to at least tell me, sir, which two? Individual over, so we start each year. Sir, yes, the biggest residential status is over. And believe me, the remaining assessees together don't take that much time. Together also they will not take that much time. Okay. So safely tomorrow's lecture we will complete the residential status of all the assessees, and in fact we might just get time to go to scope of total income. I don't know what is the situation as far as the books are concerned. Lekin if we have the hard copies with you, so we will solve. Otherwise, what we can do is at least I can open the question answer from the tab. We can solve in class later. Of course, once the books are with you, you will get them. We will see what to do. But yes, as of now, we get done with residential status of individual. Individual ka residential status has got two steps. Step number 1, resident, non-resident. And step number 2, ROR, RNOR. In the first step, we are going to decide whether you are resident. 3 conditions satisfy any one, so you become resident. So then for becoming non-resident, you will have to dissatisfy all 3. Condition 1, 182 days during the year. Condition 2, 60 days during this year, but 365 total during last 4 years. However, not applicable if citizen going outside for earning or citizen or PIO coming for visit. However, citizen PIO coming for visit, if income exceeds 15 lakh, then this condition is applicable in a modified version 120 and 365. And when we check 15 lakh, what are we going to check? All Indian incomes and foreign incomes if controlled from India. Ye correct hai? And third, you are deemed to be resident. Sir, I have never come to India. Still, you are resident. You don't know, but you are a resident. When if you are a citizen of India, not a tax resident in any other country, and your income, same income is exceeding 15 lakh, then you will be considered as deemed resident, deemed to be resident of India. Ye correct hai? Once you are a resident, then only we perform step 2. If the answer is non-resident, we don't perform step 2. What is step 2? ROR, RN. 2 conditions. This time you have to fulfill both, so you become ROR. Any one or both dissatisfied, so you become RNOR. What are the 2 conditions? Last 7 years minimum 730 days, and second, at least 2 out of last 10 years you have to be a resident. Is that clear? And the 2 cases which we are making forcefully resident because of 15 lakh income will permanently be treated as R. Ye clear hai? So yes, tomorrow's lecture I will start with 2, but at least in your mind you should know which 2. If I do questions tomorrow or day after tomorrow, that will depend. As long as I am talking, no packing, no keeping books in the bag, no keeping pencils in the box or pouch, because you can't be packing when I am talking. Otherwise, without giving any instruction, I will just walk out of the class and you will be in trouble. I take that as the highest form of disrespect. If I am talking, you have to listen to me. I will be doing questions with you first time. If time permits tomorrow, we don't know. It depends on books also. We will see. But one thing I can clearly tell you, that my policy of questions is very, very strict. Questions I will be doing on what I have taught. So if you don't remember these things, there's no point of doing questions. I don't have to solve the question. You have to solve the question. The condition is very clear. From now onwards, we are in that stage where every day you have to go and give at least 15-20 minutes, half an hour. If you give that now, it will become very easy for you. If you don't give half an hour now, after 1 week, it will be half an hour of 1 week. So already you have 3 hours. Plus whatever is the first day you have forgotten. So after 1 week for revision, you will need 4-5 hours. Every day ka half an hour is much better. I am telling you, do not waste this time. Biggest regret of CS students is not starting early. By the end, you are always falling short of, running short of time. Go ask the seniors in your house who are doing this course. You will realize that at that time you did not study. Now you regret, my God, I have not studied. So please make sure you are studying. Otherwise, I am very clear, I am not going to do the questions. I will do questions only if you have revised. And it is clearly visible. Huh? Don't say, sir, ko kaise pata chalega? Sir understands everything. I am doing this last 14 years. I am doing this. Okay. So please make sure you have revised, and we will continue in tomorrow's lecture.